So, hello, everybody out there in Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter land. It is a beautiful day here in sunny, y'all thought I was going to say California, Houston. It's actually sunny here. I've been out here this weekend having some fun in the sun and all that other stuff, but you don't care about that. Anyway, this is the Demetra K Show where we promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people with the emphasis on even because we are a great people, but we can always strive to do better. I'd like to say a big giant thank you to Donovan, a recovering Democrat Sadiq. He is all the way from the DR, Sasua to be exact, joining us. And as you guys can see, we have a question that actually comes from Donovan. And so I said, why not entertain it? So after I shut my mouth, he is going to explain to us this thesis that he came up with. But I also like to say a big giant thank you to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. You are the other side of the conversation. But wait a minute, you're so much more than that, because now we are including the link so that you can come on and join and have the conversation with us. Now, of course, y'all saw that nonsense that happened last week. So I'm going to need to see your beautiful faces from now on, because I just can't have that happen again. I don't know if I'll ever be the same after that.
She was traumatized. She called me traumatized.
Yes, it's so disgusting. But anyway, we're going to move past that. So who else do we have on here? We're waiting for people to come on. Malachi, how you doing? We have Moni. Moni says, much Detroit love, Demetra and gorgeous brown sugar. Boo. Donovan, sipping on my team. He says, well, I think he meant tea. Waiting for you guys to come on. Happy, wonderful Sunday. It's been cold as hell. It's kind of warm here today, and I can't complain. And Malachi, yes, I hope I said the right. Says, I don't know, but Black women from America sure are going to other countries in search of them. I don't know why they acting like passport bros. The only ones doing the traveling. Black women are all over Europe, Latin America, and Ghana. Well, we're going to talk about it. I'm just playing along here, okay? I'm a guest actually on this show. It's Donovan's question, so I'm playing along. Miss Robin, how are you doing? The L Boogie speaks to show. How you doing? He says, what up, Black people? And Brother Reggie, what's going on with you? Easy E, how are you? And let's see, Reginald, what's going on? Yes, Las Vegas in the house. I'll be in Las Vegas at the end of this month, celebrating my sister's 50th birthday party.
Again, you're going back to Las Vegas again, or is it those gambling debts keep calling it?
The Vegas they ain't getting no money from me. You can believe that. Yanni, what's going on? And Janelle, what is going on with you? All right, so I'm going to open it up to Donovan. The question is, and did y'all see my thumbnail? Did y'all like that thumbnail? I made that myself. The question is, why aren't men from other countries coming to America to date the women? The women being women in America, right? American women. So Donovan, give us your thesis. I'm going to take notes.
All right, great. Well, you always take notes to try to catch me in something, and then you lose viciously. You lose in debate. But anyway, you guys, welcome to the show. Glad you guys have you guys here. This is a really good topic. But before we get into the topic, you guys see the scrolling at the bottom. We've got a Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, cashier's check, whatever you want to send. Just go ahead and send that. And also catch us on Speaker, Spotify, Anchor, all the different platforms. So we're glad to have you guys here because you guys are the third host. So we got that out of the way. I am still in the Dominican Republic. I'm going to be here for until the Super Bowl at least. And if you guys have been following me on Facebook, you guys will see that I've been looking at properties here and the way they build things. And it's amazing how they are building homes and actually asking you to pay for what the expense of building the home is versus here's $80,000 in supplies to build you guys a home, but they're going to charge you $700,000 to buy it.
Brother, we didn't come here for no real estate class.
No.
We came here for the thesis.
I'm going to the thesis. So just give me a second. See, Black women every time. You can't do nothing. You can't do nothing with them. But anyway, all right. I'm sitting here in the DR, which it's been raining all day today, hard rain. And I was sitting here thinking, okay, so I'm sitting here, and I'm thinking, and I said, I'm seeing all these young Thundercats out here doing what they're doing, and I'm saying, I'm looking at it, right? And I'm saying, wow, I said, these guys are, and I'm, watching YouTube, right? There's nothing else to do but watch YouTube and kind of just, see stuff. And so I'm seeing all these reports of the women complaining about the passport bros. And what you guys got to understand is there's a difference. I want you guys to understand the difference in the passport bros, okay? Passport bros are men that are looking for wives. A 23-year-old guy is not a passport bro. Anybody, in my opinion, 30 years and younger is not a passport bro. They're going overseas to have a good time. Okay, that's what I've surmised in my observation. And as you guys know, I've lived overseas as a young man. Don't visit. I lived overseas, and and again, all this is nothing new under the sun if you've traveled the world. So my question is this: as I sat here, I said, you've got men in America. If you make $60,000, you're in the top 10% of people in the world, right? But you've got men that seem to have a certain amount of money that are flying to countries where women may not be as successful as American women according to our standards. They don't got the bag. They're trying to get the bag. They come from countries, the traditional countries, whatever. And it just hit me. I said, here we are in some situations as men, you're going to go overseas to look for a wife that might have significantly less value, as in monetary value. Like I can get with Demetra, and Demetra's worth close to $250,000. No, not even $250,000. $250,000, right? Her value is up there. Her asset. She has a lot of stuff. She's educated, so on and so forth. You go to these other countries where the people it's developing and stuff, and I said, wow. I said these guys are going to other countries to, let's say, get less than to what they can get here, for their dollar. But then I noticed that the men in other countries, Western countries, whatever, there's no phenomena of men coming here to the United States. And it really hit me. I said, yeah, wait a minute. If they're going over there, who's coming over here? And that was the question that was put upon it. So you guys are in the chat. Tell me what you guys think about how that dynamic works.
Hello, Janelle. You say, and I see quite a few brothers in there say they have gotten their passports. You say you have sex with these women, and they've already had sex with all kind of men all over the world. Yes.
Okay. Oh, I was going to wait for you to finish. He's finished.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, see, Janelle, and that might be a great thing to say, but see, can't we reverse that too? Because as we find out in child support issues, paternity fraud, women are having sex with all kinds of people. And I'm not here to defend any of that foolishness that goes on. Adults are going to do what they're going to do. But that argument could be flipped either or. It could be flipped either or. Women are just as liberated and they're having just as much sex as men do. So I don't see the aspect of that statement.
I think she's basically saying that y'all are getting used women, right? I think that's kind of what she's saying, those women.
And we're not getting used women here in the United States?
Well, I mean, I guess if you want to put it that way, but I guess over there, they know y'all coming over there to, I don't know, nowadays it don't seem like you're going over there to wife them up per se, just kind of going out there, spending time, spending money to hang out with them. And, let's keep it real. In Sasua, we know that to be the strip. Let's just keep it 100. It is a strip where a lot of those, women there, I don't want to call them anything else, women there are working women. They're working and they may get lucky, like on Willy Wonka, when they got the golden ticket, they might get the golden ticket and actually get wifed up, right? And so the premise of the passport bros, from what I understand, is for, as Jimmy James said, he has his passport and he has stayed wherever he's at since 2009 and he has not looked back, right? So the premise of the passport brothers is to go find a wife wherever that is and stay there, right? He's not to bring her back.
Right. But he's finding a wife.
As we've seen it unfold, I guess in the last couple of years, we've seen a lot of brothers and other men, I would say too, go and kind of make it a playground type of thing, right? They're not really coming back with a wife. You kind of see videos of the men, they're playing with the women. And no, I haven't seen anybody go down the aisle. So maybe it's just me because I'm not really looking like that. So I think that's where she's going with that comment that, you're probably going to get a woman that was, like the Wheel of Fortune. She just kept spinning until she hit the jackpot. I don't know if that's how it works.
But
That's
listen to
that's
what
probably
you're
what you're getting.
but listen to what you're saying. You can use that same trope in the United States. It's the same thing. They're doing it, just that it's on a higher level,
It-
isn't it? Isn't it?
so basically, what she said is true. That y'all going to pursue, because you said they're doing it on a higher level, right? So
No, no.
basically,
Here in the United States, they're doing it on a higher level.
brother, y'all, and I'm gonna get to the comments. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
no,
open
no.
it.
All I'm saying is there's no difference in what goes on in the United States than what goes on there. Do not women in the United States? I'm not even going to argue. It's not even an argument about who does what does what. Sosua, Santiago, the Philippines, Thailand, Hohen in Las Vegas, Hohen in San Bernardino, Hohen in New York. Tricking is tricking, as my friend Demetra says. It doesn't matter how you do it. Tricking is tricking. So let's not just single out certain areas. It's going on all over the world, whatever. The question is, why is it that men of other countries are not coming into the United States on a whole, as we see these passport brothers do, to look for wives here? That's the question.
Okay, that is the question, but I just want to go back to what she said. I mean, y'all probably not going to the strip in the United States like to Martin Luther King Boulevard to find a wife, are you? But a lot of passport bros, I don't say a lot, but the ones that we see are going to what you call a Martin Luther King Boulevard up in, Dominican Republic and all these Thailand and all these other places. I mean, let's just keep it real. We don't need a lot of kicking.
Well, see, this is where I disagree with you. Like I said, and you've traveled, but I've traveled a lot more extensively than you have. It's all about your perspective, okay? It's all about perspective, okay? The biggest red light district in the world is in Amsterdam. You have the majority of your legal red light districts are in Europe, Western countries, modern Western countries. So let's not be hypocritical about that. So what I'm saying, I'm not defending it. All I'm saying is it is what it is. What we're saying is this thing about on the boulevard and this is that and where it's at, whatever. Like I've been trying to tell people, if you're not above 30 years old, you're not looking for a wife. You're looking for a good time. Those are not passport bros. So let's put it in the right perspective. Those are not passport bros. As we recently found out, and I did a video on it if you guys want to go check it out. We found out there's a thing that you ladies know about, and you've been doing it for years, called Rent a Dread, where women have been going down on girls' trips to Montego Bay, Jamaica, renting a dread and fucking him. Excuse my language, I'm sorry. That's been going on for years. But fellas, women move in silence. Women move in silence. The revolution should not be televised, right? So I'm not saying whatever. The problem is you see these young guys posting whatever it is they're doing, whatever. But to me, I'm sorry. I don't think you can antiquate young men and women that are out here having a good time as people looking for wives, because that's what they're doing. Because I happen to know, even here in Sosua, when I was out there looking at properties and stuff, I saw a man and his girlfriend or fiance that he met here looking for a property, and they're going to get married. And he was a lot older, and she was pretty old too. Not like old lady, but she was like in her 40s. And they were getting married, and they were looking at properties. But what I'm saying is young people are looking for a good time. Those are not passport bros. So stop. I ask people always, stop confusing the two. They're two different things.
Brother, I know there's a lot of old dudes that's in their 50s over there calling themselves passport bros. So
yes,
wait. No, let me speak for 5 minutes, brother. Let me speak. There's a lot of older dudes over there with their passports and ain't got not nan wife, brought back, stayed over there and married and none of that. There's men that go over there and they call them, they proudly wave their blue book talking about I'm a passport bro and they ain't looking for no wife. They over there having a good time, just like the 23-year-old men are too. So I don't think we should ever try to lie to kick it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I agree with you. But again, what did I just say? Those are not passport bros. They're looking for a good time. They're not looking for wives. I agree with you. And that's where people get it confused. You're confusing two different things. A passport bro is looking for a wife. If you got a 60-year-old man over here having a good time, that's not a passport bro. Simple as that.
Okay, well, I can only call them what they call themselves, right? They call themselves passport bros, so I'm just gonna go with that. Roots Tracker, how you doing? I'm gonna drop the link in just a minute. I kind of want to, give a little bit of something here. And Moni, you say, I feel like this. You may travel different places, you may even meet somebody, but at the end of the day, what if you don't want to come back momentarily to wrap up affairs in? I'm sorry. What if you do want to come back momentarily to wrap up affairs in the United U.S. Ever? That maybe wherever that may be. Yeah, I mean, some people may want to do that, but we know a lot of those men ain't doing that. A lot of those men ain't going over there and staying and getting married. They're just not, right? Some, but not like they saying they doing it, right? All right, and let's see. Yes, Robin, thank you. Hello, only Pamela's way, Jimmy James. And I'm gonna open up the link in just a minute. Uh Jimmy James just says it's amazing how women keep talking about the passport bros when the women say they don't care. Listen, brother, this is not my topic. This is Donovan's topic. He wanted to know why aren't men coming over to the United States to wife up American women? So this ain't my topic, right? All right. So then Robo Man, what's going on? What you said is simple. Traditional men want traditional women. American women aren't traditional. Donovan is right again, and that is not true. There's a lot of traditional women over here. We can get into all of that in just a few. Reginald, you also say here in Las Vegas, you can order pizza and a prostitute at the same time, but are you going to wife that prostitute? That is the difference. Let's not conflate the two. Are you, wait, now, let me ask the question. Because see, what I'm going to make sure I do today on this show is make sure that we answer the question and we don't do all these red herrings and go all over the place is answer this. Anybody, are a lot of these places in these other countries considered a strip where women are the bruh? Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you from what I saw, where I was, I've seen it, and I'm gonna say yes. Now the other side of that, as far as America, because let's do apples and apples, not apples and oranges. In America, I don't know, it might be a man out there looking for a wife on the boulevard somewhere downtown. I don't know, wherever the stroll is in America. They might be doing that, but that's probably rare. They're probably going to just go hop on in and then hop on out over there. They're not saying they're going on. Listen, I'm going to MLK Boulevard to find me a wife. That come on. So let's do apples and apples here. All right. Let's see here. Hello, Marcus. How are you? And Buckhorse says, DC is here. Shalom, family, Black first. Hey, Miss Queen K, how are you doing? Moni says, but I want to talk about the women. What if you go meet and you are beautiful, man, and can get married? She may have to come back, handle her affairs, and may consider leaving. Again, food for thought. Yeah, but the way it's supposed to be is they're not supposed to. The men are supposed to go find a wife over there and stay, right? And Janelle, you say, these people in the countries are poor and they are desperately selling Peen and Gina. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Right. Wait. But let's do this. In America, I think it's like 63% of Black people are considered at the poverty level. So they're poor as well. And we know within our community, in the Black community, a lot of pee is being sold, be it OnlyFans, be it stripping, be it on the blade or whatever. And I'm not saying what you're wrong. What I'm saying is you're coming from an American culture thought pattern, okay? We are a developed country. And I'm not trying to throw red herrings. What I'm saying is I've lived overseas. I've lived there. I didn't visit. I've lived over there. We cannot take our value system and say, oh, well, according to how America sees it. No, it doesn't work that way. That is not how it works. In the Dominican Republic and in most countries, there is no such thing as prostitution. There is no such thing as prostitution here. This, in Demetra's demented mind, no, it's not demented. Demetra's opinion, this is a blade and this is a known place. But you could do this business anywhere in this country between two consenting adults. If anything, Punta Cana is worse than being here where I'm at in Sosúa, because that is a major tourist area. They're trying to build this area up to be a major tourist area. So you got to understand what is really going on here. So you can say this part, that part. No, you could do this anywhere in this, well, not anywhere. A transaction between an adult male and a woman can happen anywhere, and it's not considered prostitution. I know it's technical.
Yeah, but that was a whole lot just to basically say that you probably wouldn't go in America onto the boulevard where the stroll is and say, I'm looking for a wife. Is there a wife out
No,
here?
and not
You're
everybody.
probably not doing that.
Right, no, exactly. Not everybody's doing that, but not everybody does that. Remember, I'm in the military, and I happen to know in the Philippines, a lot of guys don't marry bar girls. That is not true. They go into the provinces where these girls come from, and they go look for wives. So it's just something that's not true. And again, people that keep repeating that haven't traveled enough to understand the dynamic of it.
Let me move on because we could be here forever. And give me about 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, wait, real quick. I wanted to get back, but that's not the question. That's what I'm saying. See how we've deflected.
We're going to get back to the question.
Yeah,
We're going to get back to the question
why
right now.
aren't men coming here?
No, okay, we're going to get back to the question, but we have to address that. Okay, so anyway, I want to address this. Black American expatradio.com. You say if you watch 90 Day Fiance, you will see many men coming to America to get married and a green card. That goes into what I was about to say. So I looked, and a census says that is about 50% wives coming over to the United States from other countries like Asia, Latin America, and the Caribbean. Those are like the top countries. And 45% husbands are coming from other countries, from places like Latin America and Caribbean. I think they said most people all combined are from Latin America, Caribbean, Europe, Asia. I didn't even see Africa on the list, but they said the highest foreign / domestic couples statewide is Hawaii. Then Mississippi, South Dakota, and West Virginia are on the bottom. So there's not that much of that going on there. So I thought those numbers were interesting because it's only 10% difference between the women coming over here to get married and men coming over here to get married to Americans. So that kind of just, kind of debunks the question, why aren't men from other countries coming to America to date the women? In fact, I would imagine they're coming over to get married to the women. And yes, it could be for reasons like a green card and things like that. But yeah. So anyway, all right. I'm going to put the link in. DDD, how you doing? Long time no see. Only Pamela's Way. It says, question, if these women are so great, why aren't the men from these places marrying the women? Now, that's a damn good question.
Well, see, again, you've got to do a lot of traveling, and I'm going to answer that. In a lot of these developing countries, they're developing, or whatever you want to call them, there's been a lot of wars, a lot of things. So the men, like in all over the world, there's not enough men to go around for the women. In the United States alone, this is factual. In the United States alone, if every man got married to every woman in the Black community, there would still be 2 million women single.
Okay. Brother Samuel, how are you doing? It says, greetings, D&D. Why is the Eddie Murphy comedic skit about Umfufu popping up in my head, aka he says, all I hear is I want half Eddie. What was that, Raw? He said it in one of those
yeah, Raw. Ha!
Yeah, right.
I'm an American woman now, Eddie.
Yes, and Tisha says, now that's what I wish they would stop saying. They want traditional wives when they themselves are not traditional. They want a hybrid. I would love to see them go to a Muslim country to look for a wife. They not going to do that. Not going to do that, sister. All right, so let's see here. All right, let me go ahead and put this in. The link is actually on YouTube in the description box. If you want to click it, I'm going to put it in the chat in just a minute, but it is now open. I would ask that if you want to come on here, I must see your face. Because y'all know, those of y'all was on here last week, it got out of hand. Okay, so I need to see your beautiful, lovely, handsome face. Come on, speak your piece for a couple of minutes. And then if I see other people coming up, I'm going to have to, wrap it up so they can come on. So anyway, let me go back to the comment section until somebody pops up here. All right. Let's see. Where'd I go? Janelle says, so they are having sex for free because there's no prostitution. Well, just let me keep reading. Go ahead,
but I want to answer that too. See, but that's what I'm saying. Janelle, I like your stuff. You're really good, stuff like that. Again, in those countries, it's kind of distant. This is where the ugly American comes into it, because we try to put our values into how other countries conduct themselves. There is no prostitution in the Dominican Republic. There just isn't. Pimping is really bad here. If you do pimping, that is worse, as far as their culture is concerned. So it's a cultural thing more so than anything else.
Yeah. All right. I got DeAndre coming on here. Give me 1 second. Let me get these comments down. I'm going to bring you right on up. Thank you, Marcus, for sharing the link. The L Boogie Speaks to show. He says, hey, Demetra and Donovan. Donovan, maybe men from other countries are not coming here because they know of the issues between American men and women. But as y'all saw, they are coming here. Actually, they're coming. They're here. And I know women who have married men from other countries. So Buckhorst, she say Germany blackens havens. And then Black Queen Genius 7, how you doing? Says they are coming here looking for wives because we have high standards and expectations. Yes. DDD. And I want some women to come up here too. DDD says all the Filipino ladies will marry to get to the USA. Jen Michael, how you doing? Says, hey now, and greetings. Aside from the question that's being asked, this all sounds like deflection. Excellent primary question. Yes, totally agree. And Midrash, how you doing? Says Sally, many U.S. women don't possess feminine traits. That is not true. That is not true at all. But I'm gonna just keep reading. Brother Samuel says, why do I hear Eddie Murphy? Oh yeah, I read that. Okay. Then Jimmy, he says, I suggest feminists get a big dog, a plenty of peanut. That's disgusting. Black Queen says, because no one wants to marry a non-prostitute, even Brazil or the DR. The DDD says, a lady is a killer in anything but red. Wow, that's a game changer. Black American Expert Radio says, I lived in the Philippines for 3 years, and many women there have no desire to live in America, and it's the same here in Colombia. All right, so I'm a let dear DeAndre come on and speak your piece, brother. No desire to live in America. And you got I think you got something else on in the background again. All right, so I'm
Can you hear me?
Yes.
To me, I've been looking at the comment. I've been listening to this brother talk as well. As far as the passport brothers, that's a gimmick. That's in response to black women saying they divested. That's in response to Kevin Samuels offshoots. Because how you going to go get a traditional woman when their tradition and culture is totally opposite of yours? You go to certain countries, what they call traditional is a total opposite of what we call traditional. How they deal with their daughters, how they interact with their mothers, how they interact with other women. So you have a bunch of brothers over here, mostly incels, call themselves the manosphere, which is the same thing black women did with feminism, because manosphere was a white man's construct from the get-go. Black men adopted it in response to divesting Cynthia G and hurt feelings. Because why would I go to Vietnam, Korea, or some third world country looking for a traditional black woman or a traditional woman compatible with me as a black man? It's ridiculous. And what it is, it's a gimmick, and it exists nowhere else but in social media. Passport bros. That's just passport bros and the manosphere and incels are the same ones that call the brothers from the trenches Pookies and Ray Rays. They are what we are calling now some different class of black man. They will never be mainstream and accepted or upheld by real brothers. Because even if you're in the Nation of Islam, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us not to marry outside of ADOS, American descendants of slaves, or foundational blacks, however you feel about it. We taught to marry our own. I'm from Detroit. I want a woman from Detroit, because what she is, I am. What she's not, I am not. You see what I'm saying? How are we going to be compatible and look for tradition by going and get somebody else's daughter? That's the same reason when you look at women who are divesting. Think about them old Klansmen when you talk about giving them a mulatto grandson. You see all the kickback that they get from these young Caucasian shooters? That's a direct response to trying to say we're going to destroy you genetically. One drop of black blood, and guess what? You got black problems now. You understand what I'm saying? So when I hear people talking in reference to passport bros, whose brothers are they that they feel like they got to go to a third world country to find a traditional wife? I mean, if she's Indian, is that traditional enough for you as an American? Or is that traditional enough for an Indian man. What we got to stop doing is using these gender politics to have hurt feelings or unsatisfied needs and wants that we feel in our own communities. Fix what's broken, because all you're gonna do is bring another broken, dysfunctional situation with mixed kids involved as passport bros. I mean, when I hear people talk about passport bros, who are these people? Manosphere, who are these men that said we're gonna join up and we just gonna be men over here without no women? You understand what I'm saying? To me, that sounds like some funny business. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to sit. And what man sits up all day and talk about women? Talk about the weave, talk about the eyelashes, talk about what they don't. You know what I mean? It sounds to me like there's some dysfunction psychologically, because I don't care what a woman got in her hair as long as she cute. If she rocking it and she cute, I'm gonna go get her some more. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to knock it off. Like, we don't understand that this is a response to divestors. Don't diss the passport, bro. People vacation. We're not talking about vacationing. We talking about going to look for a traditional woman. Are you off topic? They saying they going to look for a traditional woman. What tradition are you looking for? Do you want to usurp another country, usurp somebody else's identity and heritage? Is that what passport bro is about? To go get, I mean, and then if you're a real black man, you don't even trust a foreigner's cooking. They seasoning, they smell, what makes them mad and what they do in response to get mad. You go to some countries, a woman may poison you. She may go bury your drawers in the backyard with a pig foot. You never know. So what tradition? When I hear them say we want traditional women, were they mothers traditional women? Were they grandmothers traditional women? And what tradition are you trying to follow? Passport bros. This is a question to any passport bro that may be lurking in the comments. What tradition are you looking for? And I'm done. I just want to know what tradition, because there's many traditions, millions of traditions. What tradition are you looking for as a black man? That's my piece.
You know what, Brother DeAndre? I'm glad I have my mic on mute, because I was back here hooping and hollering. I like you hit the nail on the head. And then, you know what? And the crazy part is, it's not even crazy. You did it mathematically speaking. You know what I mean? And it wasn't like, because I see some people in the comment section. I put the link if y'all want to come up. And let me acknowledge, let's see here. Let me go back really quick before I say that. Brother Kendrick, thank you so much for the donation. You say, I like when you bring the group together discussion, because I've been hearing passport bros for about a month now. I'm getting sick of hearing that message. Honestly, I see people do it for clicks and views. Yes, I totally agree. And thank you once again. But I see some people in the comment, you know, not really liking the message. And there's some people who are. But I want y'all did y'all listen to what he said logically? Says, how are you going to look for a traditional woman in somebody else's daughter? That's not your tradition. So when you say tradition, this is the question I have for y'all, since y'all on here. When you say tradition, are they saying that I want a woman who can cook, clean, and you know, whatever else that your grandmamas and them did? Like, what does that mean? Are we talking about that, or are we talking about an actual tradition? Like, what are we talking about exactly? Donovan, you want to speak to that?
Well, again, I'm not going to disagree with what Brother Calloway is saying there, whatever, you know, and that's a good way to look at it and where he's coming from it. But my thing is this, the question is, why are not men from other countries? And he kind of answered it if you listen to what he was saying in regards to tradition. I understand all that. But whatever these passport bros, because I'm not a passport bro. That's one thing I'm not.
Good.
But the thing is, if these guys are going overseas and doing whatever they're doing there, the question is, why aren't our women here in America being desired? That's why I'm saying, why isn't men from other countries coming and seeking our women here in general? And Demetra gave us the numbers in regards to, you know, green cards and all that other stuff. No, I'm saying my question was more in the aspect of what the passports say they're doing, as in looking for wives or a husband.
I think Can you hear me? I think the reason men are coming looking for our women because we covet our women. Nobody's coming where black women is as long as they know there's black men around. Just like you're not going around their women when their women are around their men. See, that's why I'm saying this is a fallacy. This is wordplay. This is an emotional response to women talking about divesting and women male bashing. Because when we say tradition, me as a man with a woman, I create tradition. Tradition is what I say it is in my home. So whatever woman I choose to be with is going to be traditional to me. Am I right or wrong? As men, do we not create tradition? When we have children, we decide what we're going to get them for their birthday. We decide where we're going to get married, where we're going to live, how we're going to live, what we're going to eat for Sunday dinner, what night we're going to have for movies, Taco Tuesday, whatever. We decide what tradition is. That's why I continually say that passport bros is a fallacy and a direct emotional response to women talking about divesting, which is something they can't do. That's why I gave you the scenario. The grandfather got his clan outfit in the closet, and you talking about giving him some mulatto grandbabies, and you think you ain't gonna have no pushback. That's why they don't come looking for our women, because we're not going to allow them in our neighborhoods trolling and patrolling for our women. Do you know, I'm from Detroit. You know how we feel when we see some Arab making eyes with a sister or some Indian, or because he got a stove trying to look at our women. We don't appreciate it. We don't like it. We don't find it acceptable. And I assume that most men, that's real men in other cultures, feel the same. To each his own.
All right, now. So let's see here. Stanley, what have you to say? And welcome.
How's everybody doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm the one who commented about that. I'm not a passport brother either, just to put that out there. Like I said, last chat, married to an American woman. But I'm not going to diss the passport bros. Do your thing. Maybe it's not enough women they are finding here that's going to meet up to their standards. So what's wrong with them flying over there? I mean, when Stella got her groove back, it wasn't no problem. Anytime anybody else finds somebody or they find love in whatever culture, whatever state, or whatever, it ain't no problem. But now it's a problem. I
Stella
don't
didn't try
get
to turn it into a movement.
Really? That was a
No.
movement, bro.
How?
That was a movement. That was
How?
a whole movement.
How?
Because it was. What you mean, how?
How?
Was you sleeping under a rock the whole time, dog? I'm saying
No.
it was a whole movement.
No, I was
Girls
here in America.
trips.
I was here in America with American women having kids.
Bro, okay, cool. But I'm saying, even on girls trips, when they go vacationing and they lay up with people and stuff like that,
It's all
if they find
response to what the women
damn,
doing.
cuz, can I talk? Excuse me, but can I talk?
Go ahead.
Like I said, what's wrong with people doing what they need to do to find happiness with what they're trying to find? And when you're talking about tradition, you had said you can't find tradition in somebody else's daughter, then came back and contradict yourself saying that the man sets the tone for the family. Come on, Russ.
He creates tradition. I say man creates tradition.
Time out. I'm not done.
Time out.
I'm not done. Okay. But even with that being said, if a man goes to another country and finds a woman, don't you think that woman is going to be on his program?
Maybe.
And not the other way around? No, maybe.
How you know?
He's not going to settle, because if he wanted to do that, he could just do that here.
I'm saying,
you talking about he gonna go over there?
How do you know that once she gets here?
You don't know.
How do you know that once she gets here, she's not going to change, and the real her come out, and she's gonna look for somebody over here that's more compatible to her?
You don't know.
Okay.
But what the men are saying is, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Demetra.
No, when y'all see me doing that, I'm waving to people that came onto the chat. If I need to stop it, I'll be like something like that. But I'm just waving.
Okay. But no, my thing is, a lot of the stuff are you talking about are if, ands, whats, maybes, and things like that. Like we can't predict what's going to happen in the term of a lifespan or in a relationship. But obviously the men, and that's why I say I'm not going to diss, and I'm not going to let anybody else diss them either, because we don't hear the same hooping and hollering from the same people like you when these females are dissing
See,
brothers talking about
everything
they
is an
going to
emotional
divest.
response to female, to the women.
Man, this ain't even an
Everything
emotional
is an
response.
emotional response to the women. That's why I said the passport bros was a response to women saying they want to divest.
Are you gonna let me finish?
You call them
Can I?
female.
But can I finish a point before you jump in? That's
As long as you don't
emotional.
misquote me, bro. When
That's
you misquote
emotional.
me, I'm gonna cut you off.
I'm not okay. I'm not even gonna speak on what you said, even though you did say a bunch of BS. Because then you said that you can get poisoned over there. You can get poisoned over here, my guy. You can get set up over here. You can get set up over there. My point is,
you got a problem with the sisters.
I'm married to a sister. What are you talking about? My daughters are black women. My mother was a black woman. How do I have a problem with sisters? No, I have a problem with females who talking about a coffee date. No, I have a problem with. Bro, what you want me to say? I have a problem with trees.
Because it keeps going back to the woman. It doesn't come back. It's not coming.
Hey, bro,
from
hold up. Time
out.
out. Aren't we talking about relationships? I'm talking about a relationship between a man and a woman. So I'm not dating men, so I wouldn't have a problem with men. So what are you talking about?
I'm talking about every time you get to the point,
can I finish my statement?
Maybe I need to jump in.
Can I finish my statement?
Maybe
can I finish my statement?
Okay, I'm gonna mute myself.
Let me just jump in for a second. We love the conversation is spirited and everything. But yes, let's let each other finish our points, and then we can have a question and answer. And I put the link in the comment section. I'd like some women to come up here and say something. But go ahead, Brother Stanley, finish what you were saying.
All I was saying, in order for the man-woman dynamic to get itself together, we have to have these conversations. I'm not bashing women. I'm not bashing all women. I'm speaking on the type of women, the derogatory type of women who we brothers see all the time. And no, I'm not in the cesspool that they call the dating game, but I have children that are of age and are dating. So of course I'm gonna keep my ear to the street to find out what's going on. And if I hear somebody talking about a coffee date ain't enough for me, I need to be on a 5-star date on my first date. No, son, that's not the type of woman you need to be with. So what I'm saying is, looking around, our traditions are jacked up. Period, point blank. And we all see that as a black community. We see it.
Stanley, can I ask you?
So, sure. Yes, ma'am.
You said, about women wanting to go to 5-star restaurants and things like that. So, I mean, is that the norm? Would you say with black women, is that like most black women are that way? Like they need a man to take them to a 5-star restaurant and, and whatever else you said, is that the norm?
It's getting to be the norm. Social media is driving a lot of the younger generations right now. So if they're seeing this on social media and it keeps getting amplified, it keeps getting boosted, then that's what the people are going to think that the message is. And yes, a majority of the women, and somebody can tell me if I'm wrong, but a majority of the women that we're seeing on these social media sites are talking about a coffee date isn't enough for them. That's giving them broke vibes. No, a coffee date on a first date is me getting to know you. Why do I need to lead with my money if I'm just getting to know you? I need to see if you even worth a 5-star date. So it's these little types of things. Oh, you need a Bugatti to get my phone number or stuff like that, or get my IG, or a person think they have to be an IG model to get a decent guy. So it goes both ways. What I'm saying is we need to squash all of that. And in the meanwhile, if somebody has to fly because they can afford to another country to find somebody because obviously they didn't find it here, then by all means do you. That's all I'm saying. We only got one life to live, and can't nobody else dictate somebody else's life. That's all I was speaking on.
Okay, well, we appreciate you for that, brother. But I would just say this: we know that dating is a numbers game. You may not come across the woman for you. You seem like you came across the woman for you. You're married. You may not come across the woman for you on the first date, But if you sitting down with a woman who was mad that you taking her to coffee, then that's the only, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't even go any further with it. So that's why I guess I get kind of confused when I hear people, and I'll say men, put these blanket statements on women about, you know, these gold digger type of situations, because that's kind of what I'm hearing. I need to go to a 5-star restaurant to even entertain you. That's not all women. In fact, I personally don't even know women who act like that. So that's why I'm saying, and I like to say this a lot, the internet is not real, because a lot of times we see, you know, these things go forth on the internet, and then we inculcate it like it's real, and then we go off and spread it around, talking about all these, you know, Instagram baddies, and then we try to attach that to the woman who probably don't even have an Instagram account. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we find a lot about that stuff. A lot of people that get flued out, they don't look like the person that's being flued out. So of course we see that, but you know, at the same time, I'm not in this dating game. Yes, I found mine, and our first date was a coffee date. Actually, our first date was just going to the park. 14 years later, we still together, because I was like, no, I've been with women who want to go to Ruth Chris on the first date just because she seen me with Ruth Chris money. No, it don't work like that, sweetheart. And when we talking about traditions, going back to how our great grandparents was and things like that, we courted. The reason why I married and actually this is my second wife. I didn't do this with my first wife, so I have a whole story on that. But my second wife, this woman I actually courted. I wanted to take her out somewhere nice and do this and do that, but I said no. I'm gonna see if she's down to go to a park, and it was actually her who said, "Let's go to the park instead." So just putting it out there. Yes, there's still females like this, but a lot of times they're far and few in between. It's like trying to find a needle in a stack of needles. I'm done.
All right, Brother Stanley, thank you so much for your opinion. Black America. I know who Black America is. That's why I let him on, because I know who he is. But normally I want everybody to have a picture. Black America, how you doing?
Before he starts,
good afternoon. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, 1 second.
Yes.
Go ahead, Brother DeAndre. What were you going to say? You want to respond to that?
Yeah. Again, I'm not dissing anybody. I said that Passport Brothers as a collective is a fallacy. That is a internet response to women divesting, Cynthia G, and the norm. Because how long can you court somebody in another country? You say you talk about courting and getting to know.
As long as you over there.
So you're gonna go over there and stay over there in court.
I don't want to do nothing.
I'm okay. A person, an individual gets dissatisfied. Sounds to me like I said before, an incel. Some incel who can't find a woman in his location goes online, looks at women from another culture, buys him a plane ticket, gets on the plane, flies to another country. As soon as he get there, he's looking for a wife. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether this might be a surprise to you or not. Excuse me, Black America. Let me just put this out here real quick. I don't know if this might be a surprise to you, but I think that most men, they're not looking for 304s. Most men ain't looking for jump offs. Most men, when we approach a woman, we are approaching a woman that we want to be our future wife. Like, is that a new concept to you?
No, the new concept. Oh,
okay. I just wanted to know.
The new concept is getting on a plane. The new concept is getting on a plane, going to a country in some third world country, looking for a wife. That's the new concept.
Planes, automobiles.
That's the new concept to me, though, bro. That's the new concept. And to me, it sounds incelish. To me, it sounds like just like when you talk, everything that you said was a direct response to somehow how you felt about what some woman did.
No,
you sound just like them. Everything in response to how you feel about some interaction with some woman. It's not homogenous. It's not something original. It's a response. To me, it's a feminine responance. To me,
you say so.
Let me jump on in here just a second.
All right, so.
Yeah, I say so.
Yeah, you say so.
All right. You know what? I just want to say this. It's all love. We're having a discussion. Sometimes it gets a little heated. Of course, we have differing opinions. So I want to put that out there. Nobody's fighting or anything like that.
No.
And so I want to just
I respect the brother. I respect the brother, and I love the fact that he's a young brother with a family, and I love the fact that he has an opinion, and I love the fact that he stands on it. And I'm sure that at some point,
I'm gonna stand on it.
At some point, he can see that I feel passionately about my opinion. But it doesn't negate the fact that he's a black man with a black family, and I'm the same.
Yes, indeed. So I want to say this. I want to just define in Black America. I'm gonna give it to you. An incel is somebody who is involuntarily
Celibate.
celibate, and
Yep.
so they're not celibate on their own. They're not choosing to
Nope.
be that. Just so people will know what that is. Yes, easy. It is getting hot in here, but it's all good. All right, Black
It's
America.
all
What's on
good.
your mind, brother? What's on your mind?
Uh, all good afternoon and good evening to all. I just had to, man. I jumped on because I seen the dark skinned brother with the blue shirt. What's your name, sir?
That's brother DeAndre.
Which one?
Brother DeAndre. I just had a couple of quick questions. Are you married, sir? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said no.
You not married,
No.
brother. Get on a plane and go to Brazil and get you a black woman and get married. It will change your whole life and your whole attitude. You're not married because you're here in the United States and you
Thank
are
you, God.
undesirable to these women.
I'm
You
not
don't
married
have to.
because my wife divorced me because
Oh,
I didn't
oh,
know how to
hey,
act.
hey, hey, been there, done that. I understand that.
Right.
But
That's why I'm not married.
sometimes it's not always you. You seem like a very passionate brother. You don't seem like a buffoon. Get on the plane and get out of these women over here. I'm sorry. You got the 400 and 300 pound women that think they deserve Ruth Chris and Papados.
See,
You
hold
do.
on. Let
All
me
right,
stop you.
brother.
Let me stop you.
Go
Let me
ahead,
stop
cause
you
I'll go
again.
ahead.
Let me stop you again. The problem I have with the idea of passport bros in the conversation is it's always in response to how you feel about something some woman did or something some woman said. It's not because you have an affinity for women out of the country, because every time you keep saying this woman want to eat or this woman is, it's all direct response to behavior that you assume that a woman has or attitude that you assume a woman has, because you keep referring back to these women, these women,
Oh,
these women.
so
These
so
women are the
so
ones
so
chasing y'all out the country.
so do you believe that every action has an opposite and equal reaction?
Yes,
See,
sir.
that's an old saying for a reason. It's not because, listen, can't no broad scare me out of my own country. But the simple fact of how much better the quality, it's like drinking out of the river now and getting a bottle of Fiji water. The quality is much better. You need to stop
That
looking at
sounds like
these brothers
self-hate.
at
If the quality is better, that sounds like self-hate, because wasn't your woman a black American woman? Wasn't your mother a black American woman?
do you know where the largest percent of black people
No,
are
no.
on this earth
I
besides
asked
Africa,
you,
homeboy? South
I asked
America.
you,
I
I
hate
asked
I
you,
hate to
I
tell you that.
asked you, I asked you, you don't have to,
Yeah.
bro. You know, I asked you,
Okay.
was your mother an American black woman? And
Yes,
what
he
was her
was.
quality? And what was her quality?
My mom was good. My mom was a minister and everything. My mom was great. That
So
doesn't
what's wrong
have
with the
anything
quality of
to
the rest?
do. That
So
doesn't
what's
have
wrong with the quality?
anything to do. That doesn't have anything to do with the women of nowadays. It's like when I was talking to Demetra a few weeks ago. I told her, you and I are dinosaurs. We're old. If you look at these young women nowadays, you got a drop top. Oh, you got a Harley. Oh, can I come to your house? And this,
I'm
that, and
probably
the other.
older than
Let me
both of
see
y'all.
what you got. No, you can't. These women are looking to pockets, my man.
Do you have
Like
any?
I
Do you
said,
have daughters? Do you have a daughter?
I got 4 daughters.
Are
I got a
they
bunch of
American
kids,
women?
bro.
Are they American women?
Yes,
You got 4 daughters. Are
yes,
they
they
American
are.
women? What is their
Yes, they
quality?
are.
What is their
They
quality?
they were raised by a man, so yes, they have good quality.
So you saying that
It's
the real problem is that black men are not raising their daughters, huh?
no, what
That's what you
okay, so
just
I'm gonna give
said.
you 30 seconds. Listen, I'm gonna give you 30 seconds. I got out of prison. I went and scooped up all my kids. They mothers fought it, but I fought it better. I had more money. my kids came to stay with me, 8 of them. I got kids ranging from 31 down to 5 years old. Okay. So I see the quality and the nature of people nowadays versus the product of what me and Miss Demetra and other people like us have raised.
Now,
And
my point again, so if you are a man with 4 daughters and their quality is superb according to you, so that means the problem with these women is they don't have fathers who are raising them the way you guys are raising your daughters. So ultimately, the accountability goes back to us.
The accountability always falls on a man. No one ever said the accountability. It's always our fault, no matter what. Okay. As a man, nobody looks at a woman if you can't pay the bill in a restaurant, or you can't pay your house note, or y'all run out of gas on the side of the road. Nobody looks at a woman and say, miss, what are you doing? They be like, brother, you got to get your shit together. So,
Okay,
my point being is that when other people have been kicked out of their kids' lives, they tried to do it to me. I'm not gonna front. One of my kids' mother ran away to Nebraska for 3 years. They tried to do this type of thing to me, but it didn't work. Other people with not as many resources that I might have, or with less education, or with the same type of background of drug dealing and gang banging that I had, they might not be as successful as I am. You see what I mean? They might not have a network. They might not have houses and things for their kids to be at. You see, they might be living from pillar to post and don't have a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of, and barely scraping by and making it themselves. So they can't be forceful and can't, impress upon somebody, we're going to do it like this.
Okay, let me flip it on you. And I'm going to be quick with this. I respect the fact that you raised your daughters, and I respect the fact that you say that your daughters are high quality women and girls because you raised them. But I'm going to give you a parallel. We talk about all the violence with these young brothers in these gangs and in the streets shooting and killing each other, walking around with their pants down, right? But where are they fathers? Why?
What
now
the mamas ran them off.
Have to do with anything?
Because
the mamas ran them off.
Because what I'm saying is the fathers are scared of the youth to go out there and clean up the community. And then he's saying over here,
those ain't our kids.
He's saying the women ran them off. See, what I see is an undertone. I see an undertone.
Yeah, the women ran them off. Come on now, keep it real. Don't act like it don't happen.
I'm 50 years old. How are you? How old are you?
Let me
45.
Let me jump in.
56.
I'm 51, but let me jump in here for just a second.
I'm the oldest one on the panel.
It look damn good, but let me jump in.
Cobwebs on your brain.
Let me jump in.
He being disordered because that's immature. I told you he act like a female.
Take it easy. Take it easy, young brother.
Like a female.
I take that back. I take that back.
Thank you, sir.
Strike that last comment from the record.
No, you act like a female. You in your feelings.
Okay, wait a minute.
Hey.
Okay, wait.
We don't do that, brother.
Hello.
He in his feelings.
Hello.
He's emotional.
Okay, wait.
Emotional.
All right.
I understand.
I don't want to
have no daddy, did you?
but I will.
No daddy left you there.
I muted y'all mics. I'm sorry. I want to jump in here. I just want to jump in here just a second. And I hate to do that to y'all, but I just want to jump in here. I don't let Donovan get away with it, so I must push back on this. When I hear a man say a woman ran a man away. Come on now. On one hand, y'all say women, now y'all, I'm just saying in general, she ain't nothing. She ain't this. But then on this hand, you're giving her all the credit in the world to keep you away from your children. I always say if you really want to be in your child's life, and listen, I'm not saying there's not women out there that do that. Yes, trust me. I have a nephew who just went through that, and guess what we did? We pencil whipped her ass in the court of law. So the point that I'm making is, for those of y'all who say, oh, woman, ran a man away. Nah, put the white man on her like she put the white man on you. But stop blaming women or using that as an excuse not to be in the lives of your children. Y'all giving her too much credit, too much power. So I get it. It sounds good. It sounds, because to me, when I hear a man say that, it's like, well, this is the reason why I'm letting myself off the hook, why I'm not present in the lives of my child is because of her. I'm not saying she's not a horrible person, but I mean, there's things you can do to at least be in the life of your child. I mean, I would hope. So anyway, who was brother DeAndre? What was you saying?
The point that I was making in the beginning when I said that the passport bros are a fallacy and it's not a movement. And I understand that the topic was why men are coming over here marrying our women. They're not marrying our women because to get to our women, they have to come amongst us. And when you go to other cultures, what men in those cultures are giving you access to their daughters, their sisters, their mothers so freely when you coming from a whole nother country. Now, then we talk about tradition. Traditionally, we coming about slavery, oppression, Jim Crow, and redlining. So tradition is what we make it. And we should not make tradition being passport bros, going to get women from other countries, bringing them back, amalgamating them into our community when we haven't got our community together. If we haven't gotten together, what we like introducing others into it? And what do they bring? What do they bring in those traditions? What are they going to teach your daughter? Because you think you're going to just go get you. See, now y'all starting to sound like how them sisters say y'all is. Y'all going over there looking for some dumb woman that y'all can bring over here and control. That's what it looks like. Because if you letting one woman run you out the city and run you away from your kids, so you're going to go get a woman that's docile, that you can control because she can't speak the language and she don't know her way around, you sound like a predator. It sounds predatory. Go to these third world countries, find these women who used to making $2 a day and not having nothing, and then show them your passport and show them some green American dollars and bring them back over here and flaunt them around the neighborhood like you got the prize when all you really did is sell out.
Okay, I want to intercede right there real quick.
Go ahead, my brother.
And again, you're entitled to your opinion. There's nowhere in the modern world where people are making $2 an hour. That's a fallacy. I'm in the Dominican Republic right now. That's a fallacy. We are coming with these things that are no longer true. I know, us being older, 70s, 80s, they were making that kind of money. These are modern countries now. We keep talking about third world countries. Do you guys realize the United States is a third world country? Look at the population and the value. We have in this country oligarchs. We just call it something totally different. So again, we're falling into this narrative that applies to us, just like we would say it to other people. We think because we're in America, we're better than everybody else. And that simply is not true. China is kicking our butt, and that ain't luck. Japan is kicking our butt, and that ain't luck. The European Union is kicking our butt, and that ain't luck. And this is the type of stuff we gotta dispel those rumors, because we are in a global society now, in a global economy, and the American pay scale is going lower, 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 lower. Again, I'm not a passport bro, but you got guys that come here that are truck drivers in the United States. I'm at the bar down there talking to these young Thundercats. Talk about he's a truck driver. Oh, I came down here with 4 bands. Again, I was a military person, so I don't really talk that lingo type stuff. But, I could keep up. I got 4 bands. He's having a good time, whatever the deal is. But now he has to go back if he wants to come back here again. So where is this rich money that so-called Americans have? It's not true. There's only a slight percentage of us that actually could get on a plane and go somewhere and do those things. I mean, I just wanted to dispel that rumor, because whenever I hear it, we just sound like we're just better than, when that's not.
I want to quote Malcolm X, and I want to quote Elijah Muhammad, and I want to quote Farrakhan. As a people, no nation can ever rise above their women. And it sounds like what they're saying is black women aren't good enough. And if black women aren't good enough for black men, that means we ain't shit. If our women aren't good enough for us, that means we aren't shit. Period. So until we can get our communities and our neighborhoods in order under our patriarchy, we're not going to be shit no matter where you go to get a woman from. You're still going to be a Negro. And she's going to be a Negroette by proxy.
Does anybody disagree with that? A nation can rise no higher than this woman?
I disagree with it.
Do tell, brother.
This man is, and I understand. I've never been with anything but a black woman, so let's get that clear. I'm only attracted to black women, but this man has black women walk on ferries, and I don't know what type.
That's God.
No, and it's because. It's just because of the time frames in which he was raised. Black women are great. Black women are, I mean, he could be a hotep. He could be one of the positive brothers. And there's nothing wrong with that. But for black men like myself and the other young brother, we know, and even Donovan he knows, he goes other places, and the darker skinned women or black women or whatever you want to call, are much more friendly. Got these long nails, all of this fake hair, these long eyelashes, and a bad attitude, and then on top of that, overweight. Like, I mean, you, brother, you really got it messed up. You really have it messed up.
Let me jump in here, because I believe it or not, I've been out of the country. You know, I've been past San Bernardino myself, and I see the same thing in the other countries. I've seen, you know, the women with the nails and the weaves and stuff, and Donovan sitting up here faking the funk, but one of his women over there in the DR, she had the nails, she had the weave, she had all of that. So it's like, y'all sitting up here bashing black women, but I saw all of that over there. I saw all of that, so I'm confused as to what y'all are comparing looks, but I really haven't heard a really good argument as to why the black woman is not suitable for the black man. And as dear DeAndre said, the minister and the messenger says, accept your own and be yourself. Your own is your own woman. So how are you guys coming along? And I know there's the Cynthia G's and the Divestors, all of them. I don't follow them at all. I don't like none of it, to be honest with you. But how y'all gonna come along and then try to tell black men or black women that they are not for each other? That don't cut me off. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense to keep trying to spread this message that the woman that is like you, that you came from, is not for you. But yet all I keep hearing is how she looks, how much she weighs, the nails, the hair. But it's like, I mean, like the brother that went over there,
attitude.
The woman, let me finish. The guy that Austin, whatever his name is, he went over there and showed y'all a woman that acted just like an American woman. She put her hands all up in his face, smashed his face. And like, as I said to Donovan, had that have been a black woman from over here, she would have drew back a nub. But the difference between the women over here and the women over there is it's tolerance. Y'all tolerate them, but us, y'all don't have any tolerance for, because
that's not true.
It is true. It is very true. Listen, let me finish. I've seen it with my own eyes. The tolerance level is different. It's just different. Y'all think that stuff is cute from them, but if a black woman did half of that stuff that I personally seen some of those other sisters in other countries do to black men, y'all be all over TikTok and Instagram talking about it.
How often have you seen black women over here jump in black men faces?
I've seen it. I've seen white women do it. I've seen Hispanic women do it. I've seen Asian women do it.
And for the most part, what do us as men do? We turn around and walk away. We don't cower, but we know that we are 20 times stronger than you guys. So we try to avoid a conflict.
Let me I don't mean to cut you off, but like I said at the top of the show, we're not going to do red herrings here. We're going to stick to the comment, the question at hand. What does what you have said have to do with what I said? As far as women jumping in your faces, I said that the woman over there, the Austin brother, she smashed all up in his face, and then you talking about black women over here. So I'm trying to see the difference between the black woman over here and the black woman over in another country.
It is the attitude. It is the way that they carry themselves
Let me
for
break it
the
down. Wait,
for the for
let's
the majority of women.
wait. Let's not go. Let's not go too fast. You said the attitude. What kind of attitude does it take for a woman to put her dirty, nasty hand in a black man's face and smash his face? What kind of attitude is that?
I don't know what kind of attitude does it take for a girl in a bowling alley to hit a man in the back of the head and knock him out and then roll a strike. Like
so brother, me and you are saying the same thing. We're
exactly.
saying that woman over there and this woman over here ain't different.
What I'm saying is there are more black women. I'm not saying you, but if you was in the room with 20 other black women, you would be the only one like you in the room. The rest of them would probably be bad seeds. They probably be bad apples.
Can you describe a bad seed? What's a bad apple?
Okay, all right, here we go. BBL. Gentlemen on the panel, does any one of you guys like the women with the BBL?
Okay, no. Stop right there. Where do these women go to get these BBLs from?
Hold on. They go get them. Why? They don't need them.
Miami.
Miami, California, Dominican Republic, Mexico.
Yes. And when I was in the DR, I saw so many Dominican women with BBLs. Okay.
So now, gentlemen, does any of us like women with these long eyelashes?
I don't.
What about
none of that?
What about
every time you ask a question, brother, I want to be able to interject because I don't want it to get, too
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Brother, I have been to several countries and I want to inform you that eyelashes are not ubiquitous to black women in America.
Okay, I understand that, but does any I've been to other places also, D, and no other people in other countries, and you can tell the women from each other. All of our women are now starting to look alike. Every woman is trying to look like Trina, Cardi B, or Little Kim now. All of our black women that we love so much. That's what I'm saying. It is a huge difference. The 4-inch raptor claw nails.
Brother, can I cut you off again?
Go ahead.
I hear you describing the look. I don't really hear you describing too many characteristics of that woman because let me ask you this. Is it true that a woman that has a wig, eyelashes, and nails and a big old booty, is it true that she can also be a good woman?
We won't know. I'm sorry to cut you off, but
wait. Let's not convolute the question. It was a simple question. Is it true that she can also be a good woman?
I'm going to say no.
No.
How do you say no?
You want to go first, young man?
Yeah, let me go first.
Okay.
I say no because with those type of things, you won't even attract me. Because like I said, if I'm not attracted to wigs, weaves, lashes, claws, once I see that, you automatically discount it.
And I'm going to say no, and I'm going to say no because it shows a supreme character flaw in the person who mutilates their body like that. That's why I'm going to say no because
you don't like you.
Yeah, you don't like you. You don't like yourself. You don't like the way you look. So yes, I'm going to say you can't be a good person. Your demeanor and everything has to be subpar for you to do that to yourself.
I got a
question.
Let
me throw this in there. Brother DeAndre, I'm going to give this to you for a second. And ladies, y'all come on up. Click the link. Let me ask you this. Let me do it in reverse. Like special ed. Is it true that a woman that's got the short nails and the nice, classic hairdo and subtle makeup, is it true she can be a bad woman?
Yes.
Yes.
Emphatically, yes. She can have a short fro like Florida Evans and not be nothing. But my point, I'm going to make a very interesting point. So since the black woman in America is so unacceptable, what do you think about men who can't protect the community, can't control the politics of a community, can't control the education of their children, can't do anything but boss a woman around. The woman is mad because you want to tell her what to do and how to be when all you do is do what the white man say do. Period.
I wouldn't know nothing about that.
Wait
I
a
don't boss my
minute.
woman.
Right.
That
Where
right
your
there.
kids go to
No.
school at?
Wait.
Where your kids
Oh,
be
no.
educated? Who educating your children? Who
Let me
running your
moderate.
community?
Let me moderate. Because I think that deserves a full stop. And I want to get a 30-second to a minute answer from each man on this panel in regards to what Brother DeAndre just said. Y'all want to boss a black woman around, but you don't control nothing else around that black woman. So Donovan, speak to that. And I also want y'all
I would
to know,
love to answer that.
Yep.
I want y'all to
Okay,
know,
yeah, I'm looking
for those
forward
of
to it.
y'all who reads Message to Black Men in America, and I can tell who reads this book and who don't. That's what he talks about in here. Black men, as long as you got the white man's thumb on you, you ain't got no power. But yet you want to boss the black woman around. Donovan, what do you say about that?
Well, I really don't have a lot to say other than the fact that the nation and Islam, much respect due, but they are a small percentage of representation in the black community. So not a lot of people ascribe to the Nation of Islam's tenets. All respect to the Nation of Islam. I would personally myself disagree.
Let's hold on. Let me finish. Let's say that Kermit the Frog said that. Do you disagree with what was said? Even if Kermit the Frog or Mr. Ed the Horse said that, do you disagree with what he just said?
Me personally, for what was just said, I would not disagree in the aspect of whoever said it because of my value system, the way I was raised. All I'm saying is I am not in a position to tell other people who are raised and have different value systems how they're going to think and how they're going to do things. Again, I don't like women with bat wings, but who am I to tell women what they're going to put on and what they don't put on? So
when you don't control your community, if you don't control your community, you don't control the neighborhood, you don't got no farms, you don't have anything that you can say that you control other than that woman.
All right, we heard that part. Can we get our minute and a half or our 30 seconds or whatever?
Because I want to know what you really control. I want to know what you control other than the woman.
You want to know what I control?
Yeah.
I control my household. I control my family. Can you shut the hell? Excuse me, I'm sorry. But
got emotional.
Can I finish? No, because I just want to be able to finish my point.
Hold on a second. Hold on. I want to moderate, but listen. Let's let everybody have a chance to speak. And if we can be, I know it gets a little heated again. I want to just interject that it's all love here. Let's please just kind of, be respectful to each other. So, Brother Stanley, go ahead.
As a married father, I control everything under that. Everything under me comes under my control. So that's what I control.
That was my point.
We can. You want to go ahead?
He was just agreeing with you.
But I'm just saying 99% of the population is under the control of the 1%. So telling us that black people don't run nothing, that's old news. We know that. But what you can control is your household. So in my example, I'm controlling my household. I could be out there in the streets with this woman and that woman and kids here and there and whatever. But no, I decided for myself to be a man, be with a woman, take care of a family, raise up a family so that those children that I raise up can go off to be better people, the same way that I'm trying to be. If individuals did that with each household, then we can become a community. But we're not gonna sit here and say no lie like we're a community. We're not a community now.
There you go.
So I mean, you trying to put all this, we don't run nothing, we don't run this and we don't run that. Hey man, I understand that, but just like I send my kids to public school, when they come home with something that I'm like, oh no, that's wrong. Me as a parent, me as a man, have to sit down and say, that's wrong. Of course, you're gonna need to know that to pass your test, but no, this is the real. Okay, and this is what I need you to know. Because we all know that they interjecting all kind of crap in our kids' curriculum about LGBT and this, that, and the third. So it starts at home. So you want to talk about what do you control? You control your home, sir. First,
yes.
You control yourself and you control your home. What you mean? That's it.
Because
everything
I'm saying
everything extends from that.
On the women. You putting
We're not putting no,
expectation on
no,
women,
we're not putting
no standards.
but we're not putting,
You want
yes,
a
we
pat on the
are.
back for taking care of your own kids? You want a pat on the back for taking care of your own kids? Really?
No, I didn't ask for a pat on my back.
Really?
The pat that I get on my back for taking care of my kids is seeing them be the outstanding individuals that I raised them to be. I don't need no pat on my back for that.
Sound like it?
What are you talking about?
That's what it sounds like. Because my
How
point
does
is,
it sound like that?
Because this is my point. This was the point that I said. The point I said was, we saying all these things that's wrong with our women in our community.
No, you said we want to just boss around women. We just want to boss around our women. No, real men don't boss around their women. Real men know that their woman, the person that they choose to be a partner to them, is their equal, their better half. If I got a woman that I need to tell her this and tell her that, no, that's not no woman. That's a little girl. I don't need to be with that.
But what,
I'm a grown man.
You gonna tell her she can't wear a wig and she can't wear nails?
I'm gonna tell her I don't like no woman wearing wigs. I'm not telling you not to wear a wig. I'm just telling you what I don't like. So if you want to be with me, then you're gonna wear what I want.
There you go.
Natural. That's
All
what
right,
I'm saying.
Let me.
That's all I'm saying.
Black
Personal
America.
choices.
Hold on a second.
I agree with that.
Hold
Personal
on.
choices.
1 second, y'all. BJ, unfortunately, I cannot let you on without seeing your face because we had an unfortunate incident last week. So I need to see your yeah, I need to see your face, unfortunately. Yeah. Black America, what say you to the question?
All right. So out of 100%, Black people make up 14% of America. Without a dominant, controlling margin, sir, I'm sorry. It's futile to say that we don't own our own banks, or we don't do this, or have our own land, our own farms, and we're trying to boss our women around. If we were truly trying to only boss our women around and they would actually listen to us, then we would have some legislative power in this country, which we don't have any. Because what do they tell our women? They tell them, hey, we'll give you some food stamps. Hey, we're going to give you some Section 8 vouchers. Hey, we're going to give you this and give you that. And then they get to say to men, average earning men, which a lot of Black men are, I don't need you. If I can get the same thing from the state that you're giving me, and then I don't have to listen to what you say, then I don't need you. The grass is always greener on the other side. You see what I mean? They're always looking on the other side of that fence for greener pastures. You may not think so, and I dig it. But
Ain't that what Passport Brothers doing?
No, that's not what they're doing. These are men that are.
Think the grass is greener somewhere else?
Can you hold on 1 second, brother? Let me respond. The grass isn't greener. These are men that don't want to feel like, just like that young man said right before me, I want a woman like this. If you don't want to be like this, cool, I dig it. I will go somewhere else. These women in other countries are different. You see what I...
Let me jump in here because I want to address something you said, and in a minute I'm gonna let y'all go. So because I think other people will come up. I think they're probably a little bit intimidated to come up here and speak. So I'm gonna get a fresh batch of people. But I want to say,
you want me to jump down, D?
No, wait. I want to address
jump
something.
Down too.
Okay, hold on. I want to address something you said though, Black America. You said something about the food stamps and the housing and all of that. Listen, and I say this to Donovan: no woman in her right mind is gonna give up her man with a decent job for some food stamp and housing. You're like, I get it. It's cute in theory, but make it make sense. Because anybody who knows anybody on Section 8, a lot of times they're not living in a great neighborhood. A lot of times the cash aid ain't a lot to sustain yourself and the food stamps. And so y'all telling me that woman, and y'all talking about Black woman, gave up a Black man with a good job and taking care of her and the kids to do less? That doesn't even mathematically compute.
It doesn't. All right. So let's look at 65 when they started saying, hey, Black women, we're going to allow you to have housing and get food stamps, but your man can't be in the house. So this is just a perpetuation of the exact same thing. It is.
But let me stop.
So and then you don't have to listen to any. nobody. You don't have to have any accountability.
Let me stop you right there. In some cases, that was true, but a lot of cases, the man can be on the case with the woman if he is not working too. So that's why I say it behooves people to learn about the system and stop rattling off stuff y'all done heard from somebody on the internet. Because a lot of times people, men and women, can be on the same case. But again, as I asked Donovan, y'all keep coming up with the black woman threw her black man out the house for a food stamp. Make that make sense. Now we know that it wasn't just the black woman that helped dilapidate the black community. We had the false ideal civil rights, because even though we was messed up before, with the racism and stuff, we still got it. We worked together as a unit, and then it was black men and black women that was out there marching with Dr. King talking about we want to live next door to white people and eat and sleep with white people. So that was black men and women. But y'all keep on trying to hang the dilapidation of the black community on the black woman by herself. But in that same vein, if that black woman threw your ass out the house for a food stamp, why didn't you go out there and make it do what it do so she didn't need those food stamps?
Okay, can I
go ahead? You haven't
well, the whole thing about it is, I don't know what the rest of these other gentlemen do, and like I said, I have a checkered past, right? And I made decent money doing what I did, but I made a lot of mistakes, and I had a lot of setbacks and pitfalls while I'm doing it. If somebody is if a hard working decent black man, my father for say, work on the railroad for 30-something years. If you didn't have the opportunity to have a job like that, and you had to work in a warehouse or a storefront and try to get a woman to acquiesce to what you're saying, you have no win. Women don't. My kids' mother, they still call me now today, even the ones that's all the way up to 30 years old. They still call me now today and asking for things, even though their houses and their cars and shit like that is paid for, because women always want more. But you know what they don't want to do? They don't want to give me no blowjob if I go over there. I tell you that.
Boy, it's time for you to go.
Just show who you really are.
No, if I'm doing something, you want me to spend my time, money, resources, and energy and not getting nothing from it. It's a transaction. It's a transaction.
Let me say this. If you treat a woman right, let me keep it real with you. That BJ that you just said, that's nothing in compared to what all the other stuff should do for you. But if that's all you want from a woman is that, you don't need a wife. You don't need a girlfriend.
I'm a guy. I don't need anything else from a woman. I got a wife. I don't need anything else from a woman. What else do I need from you? You can't do anything for me. Our kids are grown. We got 8 grandkids. What the hell what do you need me for? You need to go find a man, somebody to take care of you, somebody to clean that ceiling fan or get that scorpion out of your garage.
Yeah, that battery and the smoke detector.
Exactly. There you go. He understands.
Hey, but real quick, when we're talking about the assistants, I was talking to an old school social worker, whatever, and she says the reason why the black man was never, in some cases, a lot of cases, was not included in the home is because that income would have been included on the application, would have disqualified a lot of women.
Right, there you go.
Home. So men were, in some cases, intentionally left off because of their income would be too high to qualify for the housing.
And you would rather have your kids have a home and food than have the man around. So you keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing until the fact that where they say, well, I'm here by myself. I'm doing it. I don't need, I got everything covered.
I'm gonna just say this and wait, hold on a second. What is BET? You need to have a picture to come on here. I don't even know what this BET is. So unfortunately, I need to see your face for you to come on here. Again, when I hear that and I'm with Brother DeAndre in that it just sounds like y'all saying men are sorry, because before the welfare system came into place, of course, we know with the New Deal that came in, black people before that, black people weren't included. But what did we do? What did we do? And what is BET?
We stuck together.
Right. What is DT? I'm gonna bring you on for another discussion. I'm gonna bring some other people up. But listen, I hear what y'all saying, but my father, you know, he didn't punch a clock for nobody either. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. My mom was a stay-at-home mom all the way time I was 18 years old. So, you know, it wasn't that much easier for them than it is, you know, I would imagine it's easier for a man now to make a living and take care of a family. And don't give me that, all this inflation, this, that, and the other. Don't give me that. But to say that that woman would choose a welfare subsidy over a man, I just, y'all need to find another excuse because it's not jiving. It don't even make sense.
Well, again, Demetra, your dad was in the nation, so he was a disciplined man and studied.
Hold on, brother.
Wait, let me finish. I'm not disparaging. I'm saying he was a disciplined man. Again, the nation does not represent a majority in the Black community. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, when did the nation come into existence?
In the 1940s, late
1930s.
30s, right, late 30s.
1930s, the nation came into an existence. When did slavery end?
1865.
So what did Black men do between 1865 and the 1930s before the nation come in? Did they sit on their hands?
And can I answer that? Can I answer that?
Yes.
They made Rosewood. They made Black Wall Street, and then the white. Hold on. And then what happened? The white men came in and burned down Rosewood, and then they got real smart and bombed Black Wall Street. Miss, I got 70 acres in Arizona with a vineyard on it. Right, I'm growing grapes in a vineyard. 70 acres. They don't like that. They don't like it so much that I got my white sister-in-law over there running it. I ride around town on my Harley or in my BMW. The police here in Vegas in 2023, the police they don't want to see, you know, until they walk up on the car to the bike and see that I'm old or older, they don't like brothers having anything.
Okay, but I was actually looking for Dusty Hotep, who got so much to say in the comment section. I wanted to, here we go. He said, he was saying that I was doing straw mans. What you did was a straw man. You're arguing something that's not even that had nothing to do with the question. We're not talking ability, brother. Or we're not talking about what happened afterwards. I'm talking ability. What was the difference between the Black men then and the Black men now? I'm not talking about the white men coming in and building and burning up. That didn't stop them from building back then. So we're talking two different things. And that, my brother, is a straw man, Dusty Hotep, in case you didn't know. So anyway, listen, brothers, some other people want to come on here. I love and appreciate y'all. Please, let's come back and do this again. Very spirited conversation.
Peace.
We're going to see who's going to come up here.
All right, fam. Y'all hold it down.
Y'all be good.
All right. Yes. So I'm putting the link.
It's hot in the comments. I love it.
Yes, it is. And I'm trying to, look at the comment section, y'all. I'm not, ignoring you guys or anything like that. Hello to everybody that came on here. We are having a very good debate here. Reginald, I see you say SYSBM. I think that means save yourself, Black man. Yes, save yourself from yourself. How about that? So anyway, I'm putting the link up. I would love to see some women come up here and put their 2 cents to it. I'm going to put the link back in the comment section. Donovan, what say you? You got something to say?
Oh, no. Like I said, everybody has to their opinion and things like that. But I would say this, if more Black people would follow the tenets of Islam and follow the nation, Black people as a whole today would be a lot better off. But unfortunately, a majority of us do not follow the discipline and teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So when the majority of the people are not following, we have a major failing, correct? Correct. And that's what I think a lot of people are coming at it, because I understand you being born into the nation and, your dad being still a strong teaching Islam member and everything like that. But we always got to keep in context that the majority of us aren't that disciplined.
Right. But does a man need to be in the nation to be disciplined and take care of his family?
Again, it's done that way by design. And I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying, no, they don't. But unfortunately, you could only teach or learn what is taught or taught to you. If you don't know, you just don't know.
I done put the link. My daughter's gonna come up here. She was back here behind this computer dancing and wanted to respond. So this is rare, y'all. This is rare.
Right. Now remember the original question. I don't know. Nobody has even talked about that, but that's okay.
I debunked that. I've already debunked that, saying that is not true. That men don't come over here and get with American women, because 55% of women, foreign women, come to America to get with men. And then it's 45% foreign men coming over here to be with American women. So I've already debunked that. It's not true. It's false. Anybody want to come up here? Click the link. Let's see who else came on here. Who's making excuses? Jubilant Mornings, how are you doing? And Joanna, you said you can't put your camera on. You can come up if I know it's you. I got to know it's you, because last week, woo, it was a lot. So why you guys?
Deanna. That was Deanna. That was here with her girlfriend. You were in the DR a couple of days ago. No, I'm messing with it.
So can y'all hear her? This is my daughter. She wants to put her little spiel on it.
I had so much to say.
Speak up, because I got the mic on here.
Oh, you know I can yell.
Okay.
I had so much to say that I forgot a lot of what I wanted to say. But I did remember this, because I thought it. Okay, let me just preference that. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to nobody. I'm just getting my thought process out. Somebody up here earlier said something that was like super weird as hell to me. They said that baby mamas be calling them, asking them to do stuff, and they're not trying to give no BJs, so I'm not gonna do it. But in my mind, I thought that was weird, because you're only associated with that person because you laid down with them and had a baby with them. So now you guys are a village together, whether you like it or not. And as a village, isn't it, as a man, your responsibility to take care of your woman, even though you're not still with her? You saddled her with a baby that is half you for the rest of your life. So aren't you kind of still beholden to that woman in a protecting, supportive type of way? I'm not talking about women that be doing the most and just vindictive evil, but you still have a relationship for them to call you and ask you for help. As a man who, with that woman, aren't you still kind of responsible for her in some way?
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
All right, so that we're gonna leave you right here. Let's see, Malika, how you doing? And Quita, how you doing? Nice to see your beautiful faces. Malika, what say you?
You can hear me now? Okay, I've come here to say, how y'all doing first, by the way, but I've come here to say that there's so many women from these countries that look at the passport bros as like a sweet lick. They're laughing and saying that these men are treasonous, that they don't respect their own women. So a lot of them don't even take them seriously. A lot of them are like, girl, get all the money that you can get from him, use them for everything. And they're not really looking at it as a real relationship, because they see us on here like, going back and forth. I don't care for the divestment movement either, but they see us on here just bashing each other. It's not making the black men any more attractive, and it's definitely not making us any more attractive either. I feel like these men could build in our own communities. You know what I mean? A lot of them are educated. If you can afford a passport and all of this, they have so much to say. I'm like, let's build our own communities. You know what I'm saying? You go into another man's community, you building up, these foreign countries, when you could be, doing that here. You mean to tell me, as big as the United States is, you cannot find one good black woman? I just don't. I'm just not buying it. I feel like the same thing they tell us. Oh, you should have chose better. You should have known that was a dusty and all of this stuff. How is it that, you can't find out one good woman? All the modern women are bad. I'm just not buying it. I feel like these men need to heal and work on themselves. And that's the main thing I had to say. I was sitting here the whole time just grinding my teeth listening to some of this.
Hey, but let me ask you this question, Malika. You were saying like the women in other countries always talk about get the money and get the bag and go there. Doesn't black women say that in songs here and in the city girls and all that other stuff? I mean, is this a universal thing, or is that just women overseas? Because I'm just repeating kind of what you said about the people overseas that are doing it, but aren't we doing that here with
I
our
mean,
own.
some are. It's an individual thing. I mean, I think we're just overgeneralizing everybody. You know what I mean? The women from overseas, you know, that there could be some good, some bad, just like here. But I'm saying you don't just have to go over there to get a good woman. I think, and I know that there are good women here that that will treat, you know, a black man right, especially as intelligent and articulate as these men are sounding. I'm like, man, y'all would make good husbands. What are y'all doing? You know, taking that somewhere else.
Absolutely. You got anything else to add to it, sister?
That was it. I just had to get that off my chest because I couldn't keep listening to this.
You didn't want to be breaking your teeth. I get it.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Quita, how you doing? What say you?
Hey, Demetra, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Okay, I am currently married but separated since 2014. Like, I met this man, I loved his dirty draws, I was submissive and all the things that all the men asked for. And this man dogged me out. He fooled with different women. He used to drive trucks. I mean, he was everywhere. So a lot of these things that these men are saying, they are full of CHIT because they want to control women and they want other women that they can have and do the things that they want to do. They need to be real and come to the realization of what they are doing. But they want to put it on black women like we're loud, we're doing these things. Now, I was a tomboy growing up because I had some things happen to me as a small child coming up. But I surrendered to this man. He dogged me out so bad till I almost lost my mind and everything. But with God and Allah, you know, I didn't do it, you know, and I came to the realization. I'm like, you know, I need to leave him alone. He tried to kill me a couple times and just different things. But these men are lying out here. Half of them are fooling with other men and doing these things, and they want to blame things on women. And it's not fair to the black woman because when I grew up, there was a couple of gay guys in my neighborhood or whatever, and they were fooling with the athletic boys, the one that had all the girls and all this. I know a lot of things about men, but these men come on these shows and they spew lies about what women won't do. We women don't like you men with all these high body counts. I don't know where they get that from. Like, a woman want a man with high body counts. No, you got a high body count, you can keep it moving. So I just came up here to say that, and your daughter is right. You are right. These men are full of SHIT. They want their homeboys and they want the homegirls and they want to do what they want to do, and you supposed to submit and just be quiet. I'm sorry. I'm not her. I don't do that anymore. I know what you all do. So these men can say what they want to say, and hey, that's it. I know what you're doing. Now, a lot of women may not know, and I love my black men. I love the black community. But at this point, it's gone down to the drain. It's gone.
All right, sister. Well, thank you so much for adding it. And trust me, I know all about it. Trust me, I'm a witness, especially with some of them truck drivers out there.
But can I ask, in the advent of genetics and paternity stuff, isn't it the high number of women have been caught in paternity fraud where fathers are finding that they're not the fathers of the children? Now, what I'm saying with that is, my point is this: it has statistically been proven a fact that women cheat just as much as men. All of this stuff that is going on, we can throw it both ways. It's people are people, be it men, be it women. It doesn't matter. Women cheat just as much as men. It seems like there's this playbook that men are narcissistic, they're abusive, they're this, that. It's the same thing that's going on today. Women are just as narcissistic. Women are just as abusive as everything else. So we are basically, when it comes to relationships, on a even playing field. So, I mean, it's been proven. Women cheat just as much as men.
Well, Donovan, that might be true. I'm not going to dispute that, but I'm talking about me personally. I gave my all to this man, and he drugged me through the mud. Now, I gave him everything that every man claims they wanted, even though I grew up a tomboy playing basketball and all this and that and other. I came into it without knowing how the world really works. I was innocent, and I love this man. I choose to love him, and he dogged me, and I couldn't understand it. But I left him alone in 2014 after 16 years. I had 3 sons for this man. I have 3 sons, and 2 of my sons, they kind of got like narcissistic tendencies because of the father is a narcissist. But the baby son, he's on a path of he's dealt with women, but he kind of calmed it down, and he's trying to find his way. And I love him for that. And I know that the creator of the universe gave me him because I could have hated men, than what I've dealt with. But this one here, he's showing me a difference, So I understand what you're saying. I know there are women out there that play games, that do things, whatever. But the path that I came on, my father touched me at the age of 3. Yes, children can remember things from way back then. So I went through molestation, date rape, different things. But God has brought me to a place where I've been celibate since 2014. My body count is under 10. So to hear these men say, well, women, and I'll be 50 February the 9th. Men say, well, women older, their body counts are high. I guess I'm an anomaly. I don't know. But I know there are women out there like me that don't have all these high body counts, that are not going through these things that these men are saying that women are going through, Black women, But I hear a lot of things on YouTube, and I have to step back sometime and separate myself from YouTube and reality. But in reality, the things that I've been through with men and I've seen with men, I mean, it's crazy. And I'll leave it at that.
Absolutely, I hear you. And I want to say too, I'm looking at some of the comments in the comment section. I think sometimes we just need to be able to hear a person's story without trying to pick it apart. It ain't all men. Just like we tell y'all the same thing. It ain't all women. But yet this beautiful sister is telling us her story. Then we want to try to poke holes in it. Was it you? What did you do with it? Can a person just tell their story sometimes? Just listen. She didn't say all men. She said my story. What happened to me? So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm speaking too much. So thank you so much, Quita, for your story. Am I saying that right? By the way, Quita, is it Quita?
It's Keita.
Keita. Now I know how to say it. Keita. Yes, thank you so much for coming on here. Love your input.
Yeah. Thank you. And I know a lot of men, they women too, where they'll poke holes in the story, this is YouTube. But in real life, you have to look at your surroundings and the things that you've been through and go with that. You can't just listen to everybody on YouTube. I know this YouTube we play around and stuff like that. But you can't just listen to the people on YouTube because some of them are in a fairy tale land. And thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. And Brother Easy says, but D, where's the self-accountability? Well, I don't know if it's about self-accountability. She was telling her story. I mean, and also when we hear a person tell their story, we assume that, or they're not telling the truth. I'm not saying this about you, Easy, but I'm saying in general, we assume that person's not telling the truth. Well, it had to be something else going on. Brother Michael, I'm speaking to the women at this point, if you don't mind. Yeah, so self-accountability, I don't even know if that would kind of go into what she was saying here. I think she was.
Let me tell him, I love my husband. I was everything for him. We played basketball together. he had good times, but overall, he had a problem. And that was him. That had nothing to do with me. I bore the children. I was there. I cooked. I cleaned. I don't know where they get this thing from. Women in America don't cook and clean. Like, how do we eat? Everybody don't go to restaurants. But I was all in he had to do what he had to do with the way he was living his life as a narcissist. You know, I know people throw that term around, you know, too frequently, but the things that he did, he was a narcissist. He's still a narcissist. He still tries to get back with his wife. We're yet married. I haven't divorced him yet, which I'll say women always divorce. You know, I haven't divorced him yet. You know, I'm thinking about it, but I'm kind of afraid because he tried to kill me before a couple of times. He gave me a brain contusion, and I'm kind of afraid to divorce him because I know if I try to go that route, he may come around and try to do things, but he still try, you know, but I'm done. You know, I can't. So it's not always the woman's fault as you all try to claim it is. You know, these men need to be truthful. When I was growing up, there were guys that were gay. And I would admit, I used to watch out for them while they fooled with the superstars of the basketball team. You know, yes, I did. I'd be like, y'all better hurry up, somebody coming. So we were in grammar school. So I've seen a lot of things. I know how guys are, you know, and this is my story. You know, I don't put all guys out there to be doing the same thing, but I know how men are. And at this point in 2023, I think I will die alone, like Kevin Samuels said. I don't have a cat. I don't have a dog. I don't want one. But trust me, men, some people would rather live by themselves and be single. Everybody don't want a man. Everybody don't want a woman. Trust me. This is YouTube talking point. I am happy in my apartment by myself, my food, and pay my bills. I am fine. I don't have to have a man. Now, if God blesses me with one after I'm divorced, which I don't believe he will because I'm just not interested. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Absolutely, sister. Well, stay safe out there. I hate that you are going through that, but we're going to pray for your safety. And Lady Blue, thank you so much. Appreciate you for that donation. Said this is my second time on your show. I love the content. Many blessings and many blessings to you as well. So, BJ, what's going on with you?
These talking points is driving me nuts. But much love, respect, and peace and happiness to you, Keita. Keep pushing forward. I mean, we keep reiterating these same talking points. Now we like, I'm gonna get a passport and go overseas and find the love of my life, which is fine. Do you be happy, be good, be great. But to come back and look in the mirror and look at yourself and see your skin tone has not changed, how do you then go and look at your fellow African American Moors, whatever we call ourselves for this day, and just constantly degrade us? The system has been degrading us. I understand the anger. I understand the trauma. I understand the frustration of living in an oppressive society, but our communities have been destroyed since the civil rights movement, and we are barely hanging on with what little we have left. Now we're fighting each other. For what? We take our pay and give it to everybody else. They feed on it, build on it, building generational wealth upon it. And we're still trying to figure out how we're going to pay the light bill every month. And now we're looking at each other. You're my fault. You know, as far as the men thing, I could go way deep down long before a food stamp was even thought of in one of these congressional people's hands in a think tank. So, and the men weren't there. They've been leaving long before that. So the real question is not, is why are you leaving? Why are you abandoning your children? If you can't be with her, again, I understand, because again, we put the hotties on top. Oh, look at her. She's a dime piece. That's eye candy. Well, what do candy do for you but give you diabetes? So you chasing something that's not good for you, and wondering why it don't act like your mama and cook and clean every day, because a piece of candy can't cook. So the thing is that we have to make better choices, but we have to understand the choices that we're making is destroying our community and what we're leaving for our children. Because they're looking at us and they're going to imitate and mimic us. And the media that's out there is portraying the most destructive versions of ourselves. Don't you want to be like Cardi B, hey? You know, Lil Kim, look at her. She's still 50 and she's still getting the grind. See, these are images because it's the same propaganda from a birth of a nation that's keep destroying us. And we keep falling for the same okie doke. And our communities are still falling apart. Many of the neighborhoods where I live don't have a grocery store, don't have a local store. Everything that's owned is not, very little is owned by us. So how do you build on a foundation when there's nothing there? So now I'm gonna just keep fighting back and forth. You ain't in my house. You know, if you don't want to be in my house, I'm fine with that. I'm gonna figure out how to do it on my own. But not everybody can do that. We have to put our hand out and pull somebody else up. That's the only way we're gonna build. Not keep stumping on top of each other and wondering why does it look like this? Well, it's her, it's him, it's her, it's all of us. So that's my rant for tonight.
BJ, you said a word right there. People agree with you. I totally agree. It's going to take all of us, the both of us, which is why I always say, you know, I'm personally not one for the divestors or the manosphere. I'm for Black people. And for us to be with Black people.
Divesting.
Huh?
A DeBarge is divesting.
Oh, please. Yeah, I'm for Black people getting together, period. You know, I'm not one of these people who try to divide the community, telling people to go somewhere else to go get, you know, another man or a woman. I mean, all I've been with is, you know, Black men, and I'd like to be with another one, you know.
And the thing about it is that when we have divided ourselves, what happens when you keep dividing a fraction to the point of what? 0. We're almost at the point of 0. I'm not, wait, what happened? When they changed the census and said you do not have to pick a ethnic group, you can now pick if you're multiple ethnic groups. All of a sudden, boom, instantly our population went down by millions. I'm like, oh, so now you've divided yourself into another group, which then means you're getting less resources. And we keep dividing and keep dividing. We're going to divide ourselves into 0. Any little thing, let me put myself into this group. Let me put myself into that group. Let me put myself in that group. And none of these groups are standing up for you. None of these groups going to give you a plate of spaghetti, a bag of rice, or a pound of potatoes.
You are absolutely right. I have nothing else to add to that.
But can I say this? And I put it in the chat as well. And you guys are just, man, you guys are going off in the chats. But I like that. It looks really great. We have Black police chiefs. We have a vice president that's Black. At least that's what she's calling herself recently. We have 2 Black Supreme Court justices. We have about 63 to 68 members of the Congressional Black Caucus. We've got these people in positions, and we keep talking about, you know, we got to come together, and we need resources and all that stuff. We have people in these.
But the problem is,
let me finish real quick. And I'm not blaming them or whatever the deal is. Is it the fact that we keep voting for our own oppression, which is the question that Demetra always brings out? Is it that?
Well, but the answer is yes, you're right. But they are put in office to oppress us. That's what we don't get. They are there to do their job, to keep the system running the way it is. So how dare you ask me to help you? They put me in office. You didn't. I'm here to serve them, not you.
All right, my daughter has a question or a statement.
It's kind of a side note. It's a side note. I was reading in the chat. I see Donovan keeps bringing up this color purple syndrome. And my question is, you keep bringing up this narrative about Mr. and how, you know, that's driven the Black men are no good, you know, conversation for so long. But if you look at the character of Mr., what did he do? Like now I'm not saying he didn't do nothing bad, but I'm saying he married Celie, made him basically his indentured slave, pretty much. She cooked, she raised the kids, she, didn't talk back. She did what he said. Ain't that what y'all going to the DR looking for? And wives? Women that are just gonna shut up, cook, pleasure you, and keep your house clean and not talk back. They just gonna be submissive and follow. No questions asked.
Okay, and that's a good observation. But again, I can't speak for all these other brothers. I can only speak for myself. I'm somebody who lived overseas where this type of stuff was and is still normal to this very day. So when I go overseas, because I was a military kid and I lived in a very closed environment, those of us that are in the military knows what I'm talking about. It's a closed community. It is what it is. I don't come over here to exploit people and do those things. As a matter of fact, when we were over here, last year or whatever it was, you guys didn't see me soliciting anything or doing anything like that. As a matter of fact, there's rarely any pictures of me with women and doing those things of that nature. My mom hasn't seen it. My relatives haven't seen it. I talk about it, but nobody's seen anything like that because I know how to move in other countries because I know I'm a guest. And again, because I know how to conduct myself being raised and having traveled even in my adult life, I know, what I need to do versus what I don't need to do. What you're seeing with a lot of these young so-called passport brothers are guys that have no self-discipline and no self-control and act like they can just treat these people like animals. And that isn't how you're supposed to be treating a human being, regardless of what work they may enter. Around the world, sex work is not nothing that is frowned down upon. It's just not. And only in America can you have sex on camera and it's legal, but two consenting adults having sex for money behind closed doors is illegal.
So can I ask you a question then? Is that maybe one of the reasons why they're so attracted to get those passports, to get there so they can become Mr. now? So that they can continue to abuse and to slip. Look, the men I know and the men I have dealt with have a lot of those tendencies.
But where did they learn those tendencies? Here in the United States. See, what I'm going to tell you is this.
But no, we're talking about the men here who are now getting their passport to go there. The women now are starting to step up and say no more.
Right. Okay.
And so now they're jumping on a plane and say, I need to get more of that since I can't get it here.
But again, if that's what they're doing, that's what they're doing. But if these guys are aggressive like that and want slaves and stuff, it's not going to happen in another country. You better believe that. They are not going to tolerate that.
But then they're marrying them and bringing them back here.
Well, see, again, there are people that don't know how to experience and don't know what they're doing. If you're going to marry a woman who comes from very meager means, I tell guys all the time in my experience, stay in that country. Do not bring them to the United States. You stay there and build with them there. And it's not because the United States is a bad place. It's just the fact of you're going to have a lot of problems bringing them back and doing that here. So if these guys are being abusive and all this stuff, they're not going to tolerate that in this country. Last week when I was here in this country, I'm sitting at the bar and I saw, and right now what's going on in the DR, a lot of Europeans are in this area. This is where they come to holiday to get out of the cold of Europe. So this town is antiquated with a bunch of older white people. A lot of young Dominican men are involved in the sex tourism here, which shocked me because I've never been here this time of year. I saw a young man get out of control and they busted this man's head like nobody's business, okay? They're not gonna tolerate it. So what goes on in the United States, our culture is totally different than the other culture, and they have ways of dealing with guests in their house.
And they don't, and a lot of these men don't see that because they think they have a little money and I'm in America and everybody bow down to me.
That's false. When you go to another country, you could come over here with that attitude, but guess what? You're not going to leave with that attitude when you come here. They do not play around. Your rights here mean nothing. It means nothing.
Wow. I mean, because again, I don't understand any of this stuff. I really do not, because again, our community is still suffering. Our children are suffering. The systems that are designed is supposed to support them, the school system, the police system, the government systems are not working for any of them. And my only solution is to get a passport and go get somebody else and divest from my community. And then, and I'm fine with that to a certain extent, but as the saying goes, keep my name out your mouth. Don't talk about Black women if you don't want Black women.
See, but then women say that, but yeah.
No. But the reason I say that is that I do not talk bad about Black men. You know, I talk about my experiences, and I'm like, when they come up with the welfare is the reason why you left, I'm like, no. But I don't sit up there and say y'all did this, y'all did, because there's a lot of stuff, and I know we have done stuff, but I do not degrade in front of other people. I do not degrade my people, because I understand what we've been through. They go over and then they come back because she got the long hair and she's a this and she's doing this and she's doing this and this. You got this because, oh, look how ugly that one is. And all these different things about Black women. I'm like, but do you have sisters? Do you have a mother? Do you have aunts? Do you have any Black women in your family? But yet you would degrade them and make them seem less than a cockroach in the gutter.
Well, again, I was raised by a widowed mother, and I don't degrade women. Like in the aspect that you're saying, I don't do that. That's not my thing. And this is what I was talking to Demetra about earlier before we came on the show, or maybe the other day. The difference between the women that go down to Jamaica and Renadred and these so-called, and I notice I keep saying so-called passport bros, is women have been doing this. Stella's got her groove back. That's what it was based on. These women that were going out there having sex with these young Jamaican men and stuff like that. You guys seen the movie, or y'all? A lot of people have seen the movie. The difference is women do not advertise what they're doing. What these so-called new passport bros are doing is they're advertising their problems, and that's the problem that I see, in my opinion.
Let me address this question here. Thunder, baby, how you doing? It says a lot when all women of another community all she has to do is be nice to a Black man and he's ready to leave. I think you mean, am I the only one that sees this as a problem? No, I don't think you're the only one seeing it as a problem, but I don't think it tells the whole story that all she got to do is be nice to you. Because she know being nice to you is going to get her something. You know what I mean? So it's like the other question I have, and I'm going to just ask this question. Why y'all going over there and giving all y'all resources to another woman and, treating her like a queen or whatever? Why can't you just do it to the Black woman over here? Don't you think if y'all was doing that for her? Not saying that some of y'all ain't, but the passport bros, if you were to do that for the Black women over here, don't you think she'd be nice to you too?
Don't you think some guys have?
Huh?
Don't you think some men have done that?
I mean, I'm sure
that, to the eye candy, because they never did it to me.
Well, send me your picture and I'll form my own opinion.
There you go.
So what do you need me to put on before I send that picture?
Just be yourself. Just be yourself. No.
I mean, I'm just asking because it's like all she has to do is just be nice. I think she got to do a little bit more than that. You know what I mean? Or she ain't just saying, hey, how are you? Nah, y'all ain't going all the way across the water for a woman to smile at you and be nice to you. You're going over there for a little bit more, which is why I say it's just a little disingenuous to say that woman just has to be nice. You don't think she got a motive behind being nice to you? Do you think that if she knew you was broke, not saying you are, but she was broke and you was mean and all that, do you think, or that she wasn't going to get in your pockets, do you think she'd give you the time of day? No, she know it's a numbers game. I'm going to keep on wiggling, giggling in the right man's face until I hit the jackpot. Let's keep it real. Let's not lie to kick it.
And I don't disagree with you, but women, you also got to understand, we are different species. Demetra and I get into arguments about this all the time. Men are visual. We like what we see. A man will not approach you if he doesn't like what he's seeing. So that's the first step. Physical attraction is always the very first step. And the problem with women is, especially those feminists, is they're trying to be equal when there's no way in hell we are equal at any point. Yin and yang go together because they're opposite. But women think that, oh, we're equal. We're not equal. Get that out of your mind. It's bull. We are not equal.
And my only thing is, you're absolutely right, but do not complain about that eye candy, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj wannabe take you for a ride and empty those pockets because your eye says this is what you want. And then put that whole drama on. This is all you black women. Y'all all the same. Because no, we're not. Because the ones who sitting in the library, y'all ain't even popping for.
Right. Well, again, me and Demetra, you used the story of the girl, and Deanna was there. Me and Demetra were doing a show. My old lady's in the house, perfect chick, beautiful, big butt and everything. She's walking through the house naked. But that took more than her being as beautiful as she was for what it is that I wanted out of a woman. So these guys that you're talking about, and again, I'm going to just put this disclaimer out there. I was raised in a military community, so my experience would be different than the average person. But the point is, I vet the people that I'm with and I ask questions, whatever. Yes, I want her to be hot, popping, blah, blah, blah. But I also want her to have something up here for herself because that brings into the house to help us build.
Deanna?
Never mind. Never mind.
Okay, so she's gonna hold her comment. So anyway,
That's growth. Well,
she's saying that's growth. That is growth for you.
not for him, for me.
For her it's growth because she's like, I'm gonna abstain. I'm not gonna say what I want to say.
But Deanna was in the house when that actually happened.
I'll never recover.
Oh my God, this and that doesn't mean this is what we've come to. We used to be modest. What happened to that? You know, the 80s and the war on it just devastated our community. I mean, we have how low have we sunken?
I agree. Marcus, you say these guys going over here looking for submissive women have no idea. You can find the poor, struggling ones, and you can find the higher class ones. I think you meant in that case, you're competing with white men who have been going to Africa for years, showering with tons of money.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you guys this. I've been coming here and all over the world, whatever. I've never been to a country where they're submissive in the aspect of slavery and all that other stuff. Even in the Philippines in the 1980s, I saw the Return of the Jedi in the 1980s in the Philippines. And I'm telling you, even there, the women are not the submissive slave thing or whatever you're talking about. This is the modern age. That isn't happening. And when you're hearing people that actually believe that stuff, those are people, in my opinion, that, and if you really look at their background, they've never really traveled. They've never really left the United States.
It's a common man, 80. This is my sister.
Don't do me. No.
As my daughter.
No, yes. You do look like sisters. She's beautiful.
Well, let's tell a whole story. We were in Africa.
Oh, hey.
They thought that Deanna and me were married.
Oh, so now we understand your opinion now because Demetra done dumped you, and now you got all the anger issues.
Yeah, somebody made the ungodly mistake of thinking I was the mother-in-law to them too.
You didn't need to tell that disgusting story. I died a little today.
Wait, since we telling stories, that was the same time where Donovan was mad because I don't know, he couldn't get money out of the ATM, and he was like, "Do you know who I am? I'm an American." And the man was like, "I don't."
And the military, and in the military too.
Yeah, he said, "I don't care. You're an American. You think you're the first American to come over here?"
But what she's not telling you is I told him I was the Duke of Edgemont, and then his whole demeanor changed.
And he said,
and the point of that is this: even in these countries, this is how they feel about these Americans. Come in here and spend your money and do what you got to do. But I'm going to tell you right now, here in the DR, whatever these passport bros are telling you guys about there, these girls will lace your pockets and you're going to go back home broke every time. These girls are not submissive women.
Because what people do not understand, everything that occurs on this planet is systematic. It's a set of rules and conditions on how the game is played. So these girls have been groomed to say, this is what you look for. This is what you look at. You know, like back in the day in Vegas, all the little pretty girls or the working girls or the girls coming from out of town because a big fight is coming in. So I need a couple of bands in my pocket. They go to the bar, get that little hair done, get the dress done, and sit there and and then they wait for the dudes to come up there. It's the same thing. So when they saying they're getting played, no, you're not. You're playing yourself because they are doing this on purpose. You know, and again, you can flip it around, you know, because if you look at Africa, the women are now going over there doing the same thing. You know what? Let me go get one of these young dudes or whatever, just for the weekend or the week or the month, or we're on the ship. We'll hit a couple of countries on our way home. So it's the same game. And if you want to play yourself, don't cry to me after you got played.
Let me answer, brother Arson. How are you doing, dear brother? You say, if the passport bros do leave because Black women behave a certain way, do the women of other communities treat their men the same way? You know, that's a good question, but let me ask you this. This is the $35 million, trillion, billion, gazillion dollar question. If those women in the other countries are so loving and beautiful and they treat their men nice, why are they single?
Could it be that in their culture that they cannot leave their homes or whatever until it's acceptable to the fathers that helped raise them in their community? Just asking a question.
Come on.
Well, how many of us think a black man is acceptable in their cultures? Because I know in a lot of Arab countries they do not consider a Black man as being a prize for their daughters.
Right. Well, you got to remember, you're also dealing in an Arab country, and a lot of Arab countries that are Islamic, so they're under a different type of regimen when it comes to vetting men.
Come on, brother. I want you to answer this with some thought behind the answer.
I did. Like I said, culturally, I happen to know if you go to these villages where these girls come from, let's say the Philippines, and they're working in the major cities in the Philippines, let's say a bar girl. Most bar girls come from the provinces, right? You're not going to go into her community and she's not nearly going to get married on her own. You have to go to the family and present yourself and be respectable, just as if people are the same everywhere, D, in some form or fashion. So she ain't going to just sit there and make an arbitrary decision to get married, because when you marry a lot of Asians and a lot of Asian cultures, you're not only marrying her, you're marrying that family, and you're going to take care of that family.
Yeah, and yep, that's one of the things. And number two is when I went to China, Beijing is the capital, and those who are born in Beijing get certain opportunities. So if they want to go to certain schools, they get it. Now, if you come from a different province and move in, you're not allowed that same. So you then have to find a private school. So a lot of them will send them over here to get educated because it's going to be cheaper than at home. So some of these women are like, I want better opportunities for my babies. Let me just hook up with him. My kid get their educations. We'll start off for a better life. Maybe have to deal with this crap, but my daughters and my sons won't have to. So I'm okay with it. I mean, I get it. But don't come and say that they're just falling in love with you, Ken, and you're such the perfect doll that I ever had, and you're just the greatest thing on the planet. And why can my own women be like you? Because everybody have motives. That's what the whole relationship is all about, a motive.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, and Pamela, she said I asked that question earlier. You know, why are there so many available women over there? If they're so great, how come they haven't been sopped up? You know what I mean? Like, why are they waiting? And let's just keep it real. Just like, you know, we know that pretty much everywhere in the world, Black people are considered unacceptable. And ain't no Asian man, Arab man, or any other man saying, no, we're waiting for the Negroes to come over here and swoop our women up and take them off, or whatever you're going to do. We know that ain't the case. We know that. Same thing is true for Black women, right? I'm not saying we're that, but we know in the eyes of everybody else, nobody is saying, my little brother, for example, in high school, he did an experiment. I forget what kind of class it was, a cultural something class, I don't know. And he said they all had to answer, choose two different races other than their own that they would be with. And so he said that it was him and two other Black guys in the class, and everybody else said something other than Black people. They chose everything else other than Black people. He said, but they chose, other people, obviously, or whatever. But no one else chose Black people. So I think that's very telling. So I would think that's more of an argument for black men and black women to be together. Now I keep hearing people say, oh, they're not, black women in America are not traditional, but I would beg of you, have you been with every black woman in America? You probably have not. So maybe the women that you've encountered, or the unfortunate women that you see on social media acting an ass, those women aren't traditional, but there's a lot of traditional women out there. But as somebody said, does she look like Beyonce? She probably does not. So therein lies another problem. She's not, as Black America said, he talked about how the woman looks. So maybe that woman don't look like she, fell off of a runway somewhere, but maybe she's traditional nevertheless. And so just like black women have not all, we have not all, been with all black men to say that, black men are this, that, and the other. So what we're doing is we're looking at the very few people that get the spotlight, and then we're making them the litmus test for all black people. But we're doing the same thing that other races do to us. We're delving in stereotypes.
Yeah. And my thing is, you see, black women are not traditional. Define what traditional is. And on the flip side, are black men traditional? And define what that is. We have had to work from picking cotton, building ships, building skyscrapers for this country, unpaid for millenniums. So where did the tradition even fall on us? We're not the ones that's June Cleaver. We're, some of us have been blessed to fit into that role, and they had husbands who could take care of the whole family. But this is 2022. Let all that go. We could barely make it 200,000 if two people could barely afford to live in this country right now. So how are you going to be traditional on one person's income in America right now with eggs $9 a dozen?
Right, because to me it seems like we just need to stop eating eggs until we come up with a different solution. Brother Arson, you say
they got some wild hens here, so I'm eating good on my eggs. Y'all go ahead and continue to pay those $9, $12 for a dozen.
Brother Arson, and we're gonna get out of here in just a minute. He says, first of all, you deflected my question by posing another question. Secondly, there are single or taken women over there just like over here. Women outnumber men almost everywhere. So your original question was, if the passport bros do leave because black women behave a certain way, do the women of communities treat their men the same? And to that I said, I don't know, because I don't really study how other women treat their men. But then I flipped it around. So I did answer your question. And then I asked, well, if they're so nice and wonderful, why are there so many of them available for American men to go over there and swoop them up? That's what I asked. So I didn't deflect your question. I answered your question. So anyway, y'all, you know what? I see all these wonderful questions. I thank y'all so much for all the input. Let's see who else came on here. Quick 66, how you doing? Say, my cousin's wife from China is not naturally submissive. I found Chinese in Beijing argumentative kids were tough to teach. Yeah, and I've heard that a lot from men who have dated Asian women. They was like, I don't know where y'all get that from, that they're submissive. Asian women to eat your lunch. And Donovan, you should know that, because you were raised in Asia. So you should know that. So to continue on that these other women are so much submissive, we know that ain't true. I saw a Mexican woman take her man from here to there and everywhere. Y'all know how Martin's mama said, I'll take you here and I'll take you there. I saw her do that to him in broad daylight.
Right. Wait. When have I ever said that Asian women aren't submissive? I'm the first to say.
Just say like 10 minutes ago, he said that, they're not naturally submissive. They'll run your pockets and everything. But then at that, so then the only difference that makes them better to you is just how they look.
No, because men are visual. No, but I know for a fact that modern Asian women are not submissive. And I'm talking about, like, I was raised in Japan. So Japan and the modern Japanese cities. When I'm talking about the provinces, that's a bit different, because those girls are not near like a major civilization city. They still live in a kind of a rural aspect. So they're raised very.
We have rural America here too, you know that.
Right, no, but it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. You would have to go there to understand it. Yeah, it's not the same thing.
So those women in America wouldn't be submissive on the farm in North Dakota?
Well, in North Dakota, they have cable and satellite and all these other things. In these countries, when they're from the provinces, there is no satellite. There is none of these. There's none of those things. That's what I'm saying. We got to take our American. You got to travel over there to really understand the difference. There's a big difference, super big difference. But the modern Asian women that are in major cities that are doing major things and like that, they are not submissive. Most of my Asian friends that I went to high school with, these women ain't submissive. They're not submissive. They're modern women that are just like anybody else running around here, period. I'll be the first to say that.
And let me address this before we leave out here. Robo Man, how you doing? Since we're talking about exceptions, are we going to ignore the guy on the Philip Scott show who's made over 260, I think you mean 1,000 a year, and couldn't find a decent woman in America? Did he date all women in America?
I know what the issue is.
What's the issue?
His issue wasn't that he couldn't find a decent woman. His issue was that he wanted to put up, how do I say, not bare minimum. In my experience, it seems that a lot of men are not willing to put in the work to be in a relationship with somebody. So he probably was
preach to the choir, sisters. Preach to the choir.
He probably was making all that money. He probably wanted a wife, but he wasn't looking for somebody to be a companion with him. He wasn't trying to put in the work to get to know somebody, to build a strong relationship. It's just, you're my wife. You're here when I come home. You're cooking. You're this. I can say that, you know, in my household, it's me and her. You're sleeping with me. You're doing the bare minimum. You're not trying to get to know that person as a person.
Got you.
Because a lot. Let me stop.
So y'all, we can be here forever. I love and appreciate every last one of y'all for your input. Thank y'all. Yeah, my daughter, she was so shaken to the core where she was like, I got to come on here, because normally I can't even drag her nowhere near.
Yes, it's just to speak.
She had to speak her mind. And so anyway, love and appreciate every last one of y'all for coming on here. We'll do it again next week. And on Wednesday, we also open the link with Walter. I have a very good discussion topic for Walter, so I'm sure y'all will want to click on the link and discuss it. It is in the same vein as a relationship, so we're going to talk about that. But anyway, go ahead, Donovan.
Wait, don't forget to send me that picture. Don't forget.
Okay. You got AOL, right?
Yeah.
xfiles@gmail.com.
He got dial up, sister. He got dial up. So anyway, thank y'all so much for making this a great show. We could not have done this without you. We'll do it again on Wednesday. And look for our podcast, me and Donovan, on Tuesday. Love you too. L Boogie Speaks to show. Y'all follow him. Go help build his channel up. He has a lot of great, wise things to say. Please and thank you. Love y'all so much. See y'all later. Peace.